Hello everyone, and welcome to Resurgence of the Silver Siren. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Sean, he, him, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. You are just in time for the event of the year as Isabeth Cuftgate and Patsy Hoot are tying the knot. We always knew those kids would get together. But this is not the only notable thing brewing in Kythyss as the devotees of Umberly are hatching their plans. But quite what those plans are remains to be seen. Now, let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hello there, I'm Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Brian Calm, who also uses he, him pronouns. Brian is an elf of the Eladrin variety, who has been trained as both a druid and a monk, and has ventured around the Sword Coast a little bit and decided to jump on the sugar snap to come to Kythyss, and has been roped into serving for a wedding. I mean, that sounds perfectly reasonable, doesn't it? Nothing's going to go wrong, surely.
Hi, I'm Evie, I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Keith Feetfoot, who is a Harrigan, level 7, artificer, alchemist, bartender. And Keith is on this cruise, is on the Sugar Snap, and he is bartending this wedding and will serve you a drink of your choice.
Hi, I'm Nat, I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Enfia Hoot Owlin. She is heading through the plains. She's professional, adventurous, and spinster, heading to her niece's wedding to bless the wonderful day. And of course, nothing is ever going to go wrong when she's there, right?
Hi everyone, I'm Steve. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Werin Amor, a Aarakocra paladin who loves a good wedding. Actually, wants to make sure they run as absolutely smoothly as possible for no professional ulterior motives whatsoever.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack maths rocks for use in your favorite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made with sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection. And if you put !dice into chat, you can enter a raffle for a chance to win some dice of your very own.
Big love to our D20 club on Patreon. They're great, you're wonderful, we love you so much, and they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together, and they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
You can find us on social media by searching Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you can't join us live and also want to see any of our previous episodes, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or your favourite podcast provider by searching Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And now, let us begin. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Resurgence of the Silver Siren. So, what happened last time? We picked up where we left off many weeks ago. with the fight in which Isabeth had gone down, or Ninetails gone down, and revealed to be Isabeth, I should say. The fight was resolved. Isabeth leapt off a cliff. Ninetails returned because, you know, that's what Ninetails do. And then, once the fight was concluded, disparu once OC. The team decided to walk. I'm using Steve with my pigeon French here. Decided to walk down to the town, despite because, you know, that's the fair thing to do. You've got three team members who can fly and one who cannot. One walks, which is, I imagine, why the hobbits went to Mordor in the way they did, rather than anyway. I'm divulging or digressing, both. You dropped each other off at your relative sleeping points, save points, shall we say, where, you know, you could level up, do all that fun stuff. And, you know, there was the king's head, there were the king's shoulders, there was a tree, and there was somewhere that was potentially reserved for someone else. But, you know, this is what we do. These are the choices that we make.
Not important.
No. Not as if they'd, you know, spent a week on a boat traveling down from Neverwinter or anything like that.
And we've all spent a week on a boat.
You got breakfast. Brian managed to eat 90% of said breakfast. You checked in on Pommerjack, the blacksmith, to see whether he had a visit from Ninetails. Discovered there was sure signs that maybe the back door had been picked. And then following that lead, you decided to go to the music shop, which Isabeth runs. And after a brief conversation with Isabeth, she decided to take you up to the upstairs room where the first glimpse you got was of the 8 siblings all around a kind of conspiracy board, you know, lots of things going on, discussions being had. However, they all hid, which is why I am starting off the game with 8 D20s in my hands, 8 caps, stats written down, and each dice means. So I'm going to determine whether I can do very quick maths or not.
Now, I said this off air before we started recording. I will say it here again, but I don't think it's worth repeating. I was under the impression we had walked into the room and seen them there with the map, and now they are attempting to hide right in front of our eyes.
Hey, intelligence is none of their particularly high stat.
Is there some manner of yakety sax playing in the background while this goes on?
Nope, those two, those want to be at the bottom. Oh, there we go. Right. Now we've ordered it. I can tell you who is the most successful. Oh dear, oh dear. So, I mean, there is some very successful hiding. There's, remind me of your ridiculously high passive perceptions.
22.
22.
18.
18. Warren?
17.
17.
Yeah.
And Keith?
A very impressive 13.
I mean, it's above average. You know, let us not take away from the fact that you see more than most people. So I can tell you that my maths is not that quick. A couple of them rolled 24s. So Ian and Ikathet, probably on the edges of the room, just kind of hide out of your field of vision. Although as an owl, that's probably almost 360 degrees. Yeah, like they were close to nearby cupboards and literally. Then you've got oh wow, I actually had a another one which was a 27, so almost a natural 20, but not quite. Probably appropriately, this one has some potentially. How do I describe this in a slightly more monk training? Can't be bothered. The one who's, I was going to say a bit more monkey, but anyway, none of them are such. Yeah, kind of does that thing where leaps into the air and then like holds the lampshade and kind of clings to the book. If anyone's seen the film Serenity, kind of what someone does, Summer the actress. River is Summer is the actress. Yeah. I know this. I've seen it recently. I was crying at the time, but it's fine. Then we get down to the ones that. So those were the three that none of you saw, because they straight out of vision. Then we get onto the one that Emphia saw, which was Ike, with a measly dirty 20. I think was near the bed and just kind of under the covers, but you clocked already. Then I've got an 18, which means Brian would see and not Warren. I'm running out of ideas now. I should have watched more Tom and Jerry before the show. I think this one is probably the behind the curtain feet kind of sticking out from underneath. Then we go down to a 15. So Warren sees, Keith does not. And this is, I think, probably hides behind the chalkboard. But the chalkboard kind of has like a section underneath, so you can just see the legs. Mm-hmm. Keith, you'll be glad to know that you do see two of them. You do notice Ichabod and Inigo, whose rolls were only a 10 and an 11, respectively. So these are the ones who kind of run around. Everybody else has taken the good hiding spots. And so there's one with the lampshade on the head, trying to look very thin, and another one just...
Mm-hmm.
8 hiding cats.
For the podcast listeners, covering their eyes.
Yeah.
Peeking slightly out, so that they can see.
I'm gonna gloss over the fact that if they did it in front of us, I feel like maybe they should have rolled with disadvantage. But it's fine. It's fine. There's enough of them that are terrible.
Oh yeah, history rolls. You definitely remember seeing a room of 8 cats, but I just wanted you to be impressed by the fact that now you can only really see. I mean, you can see 7 of maths, 5 of them,
5.
And in decreasing order of. I'm not going through the rolls again.
Sure.
No.
We'll just sort of raise an eyebrow, Isabeth. Did they not know we were coming?
Isabeth kind of rolls her eyes and clicks a finger, and reluctantly the other cats all slowly emerge. Some of them, from hiding places that you were very impressed by, but you didn't see which way they went. But one drops down from the ceiling, a couple come out of cupboards, one uncovers their face.
Yeah, well done. Really, really well done to that one. To you, my friend. But you just keep trying. I'm sure you'll get there. I'm sorry that we startled you all. We just wanted a little chat. Is that all right?
Oh, I mean, I'm assuming Isabeth's already, okayed this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten a secret knock, meaning that we didn't have to hide. Isabeth kind of does some Faerunian sign language and indicates. One of the other cats kind of translates as she does so for those who don't speak it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we want to find out what's going on. We're not used to working with anyone outside of 9 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I will, Keith will walk forward at this point, unveil the corkboard of his own, set it next to theirs, and be like, impressive work. What is on this other corkboard?
When you do this as well, there is an audible kind of, ooh.
Nice, I've impressed the cats.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you, because it's like a quick scan thing, at this point, not necessarily sitting and reading through the lot. I would like an investigation. I will allow your passive if you would like.
My passive's not too bad. I'll chance a roll.
Chance it.
Okay, that is actually better than my passive. Passive? Oh god, where am I from?
Passive.
13, 14,
Your
15.
pasta.
passive.
Passive.
We're in Bridgerton all
catching.
of a sudden.
Most
Extra
impossible.
English.
Sorry,
I
what was it?
got 15.
15. Nice. Yeah, so kind of at a glance, you can see that they've started off from quite a similar place to you. They put together about the rings and scoped out the blacksmith. They've kind of got a list of suspects, and they've crossed through quite a few of the names.
Are we on their board under the suspects?
I mean, of course you are. Like, they've got to be thorough.
I point to that, and then I also point to the Ninetales question mark and various things coming off on our board. It's only fair. This is how you investigate.
You notice that Emphia is crossed through, Brian is crossed through, Keith is crossed through. Where you are not crossed through. There's several question marks next to your name.
As there is on our board.
I would say with a glance though, you notice that most of the kind of wedding guests have been crossed through. There is a section for Gidgy, the lighthouse keeper, not crossed through, but does have written down third ring, check blacksmith, and a kind of linking line to there. I think at a glance, that's kind of the bones of it that you get. They do have written down a name you don't recognize, and then it just has a link that says Talos.
Yes, impressive work. We seem to have come to many of the same points of investigation, but Talos, can you tell us a bit more? Like, I think we should join our investigations to be a more powerful investigative force. Can you tell me about Talos? Sorry, I'm moving quite quickly. I do apologize.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely in the nature of cooperation. Let's do that. So we had to do a bit of digging because a lot of the stuff that happened before with the weresharks, a lot of the people seem to have left town who were involved with that. There was a group of 5 adventurers, and then there was also a priest of Talos, and a priest of Lathander, and they've all gone. We had to kind of find out secondhand from the baker and the blacksmith. And the fishmonger kind of taps on Lengfair's name, which is crossed through. So, all right. How far back are we going? Like, Talos is a god. I don't have to go that far back, right?
No.
Although I've encountered many god faiths in my travels. Please do remind me, what is Talos' domain?
Thunder, storms.
Yes, right. Yes, good. Mm-hmm.
Actually, I mean, interesting point of fact. There's a temple to Talos, who's god of storms, but there's also an idol to Umberly, who's a goddess of the sea, and there's apparently a bit of consternation there because the god of the sea thinks that maelstroms and anything that happens, whirlpools and that out at sea, that should be her stuff. But Talos is like, well, that's weather. That's me. So, I don't know. I thought it was relevant. One of the other cats that, look, we went through this. There's no link. It's not. This isn't a god thing. Another one pipes up. It's always a god thing. Shut up.
Even if it's not a god thing, if this is a rivalry that is propagated through these gods' followers, it could be relevant.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. One of the other cats said, "I'm boo."
I go to wink, and then I'm like, wait, no, we're not doing that anymore. Keith's eyes open.
Oh, so you didn't wink at them?
I went to. Like, I wrenched back open.
But winking meant you're not flirting.
Oh, right. Okay. Wink. Wink.
I mean, the cats are all a bit like.
I have a twitch. It's fine.
Okay.
So just to clarify though, with the the follower, the priest of Talos left town, and you think that's pertinent?
So, from what we gathered from from Mayor Shaden, the priest of Talos and the priest of Lathander, they had a rivalry. Lathander being the Dawn Lord, like sunrises, clear skies, probably a thing. It's not a thing. It's a thing. They didn't like each other. We don't know why. And one of them got bit by the weresharks, and then after the fight in the town square, went off. And then the priest of Talos went off tracking this other wereshark. I believe in tow with the other adventurers, but I don't know.
Right.
Well, I mean, we know that the Sahuagin were followers of Umberlee, because the priestess that we captured had and I'm going to pull out the symbol because we gave her carved the sending stone into a fake version. We got this off of the priestess.
Oh, now that's interesting. The one who's been kind of shouting about the religion angle starts to kind of link up some things on their board and draws a kind of an underline under Umberlee. See? God stuff always comes up.
Faerun, you were going to say something before, were you not?
We've heard that there's. Before we came here, we'd heard about somebody sermonizing for Talos while the priest was gone, which we came right here, but this might be a spot for us to check out next.
We haven't checked that one out because he apparently gets up quite early to I don't know to do the sermons. Not quite as early as the Lathanders who get up at the crack of dawn, but he's like, I don't know, throwing away the eggs after the crack of dawn, I suppose. Still quite early, and we're not really early risers. We do a lot of our work at night because it's,
a more sensible time of day.
Yeah. You see the name on the board is Harper Putton, HARPER PUTTON. So all we've been able to tell so far is that he's a Loxodon. He's young. He's like, mid to late teens, so probably not involved. I don't know. But
youths these days, can't trust them.
You're never going to believe this, but I speak Loxodon.
Oh, lovely. I mean, it does sound like Harper. This Harper fellow speaks common, so.
Well, no one ever wants to speak Loxodon.
It's very impressive, Keith. Good for
I just want to practice my languages with someone.
Well, maybe if we cleared this person of involvement, you can strike up a delightful friendship afterwards.
And they might say things that they wouldn't ordinarily forget in Loxodon. You might get to their secrets. So good to know.
Loxodons never forget.
Never.
Writes that on the board. Don't have to write. That's their board. Stop it.
Don't interfere with Keith's board. He's very precious of it.
I'm adding things to my own board.
There's a lot of crossing over. Like someone's getting some string and trying to pin it to your board and then realizing it's not cork.
So the question I have, if we are to work together as comrades, what do you call yourselves? We're the Hootenannies. Are you just? I mean, I know when you individually appear, you're Nine Tails, but what about you as a collective?
That's the thing. There is no collective.
Okay, but what is your name?
We're all nine tails. We never appear at the same time. To be honest, the only reason The only reason we're working together now is because we're all in town for the wedding. Otherwise, we're off. You know, we spread out just to make sure that we don't, you know, have too much crossover.
Okay, fine, sure. If you don't have a special team name, then we'll have to go with Nine Tails. So if this collaboration, this Hoot and Nine Tails, if you would, is to work, we ought to probably trust each other. Do you agree?
All right. What do you want to do? Some trust exercises. One of them kind of goes to do that, and then just falls backwards
I'm
because
just
none
gonna
of the
step
others
sideways.
Yeah.
Not quite what I had in mind. I thought you might like to tell us why, Isabeth, dear, you were stealing the third ring from Gidget Tingle.
The cats look a little bit sheepish about this. Isabeth starts to sign, and one of the cats translates. You gather that they felt that having seen Pommerjack's plans, right, notes about the three rings, they felt that it was too powerful an item to leave with a commoner, and they felt that if she didn't see them take it, it would be better for her to just be like, "Oh, I don't have it," rather than have to lie about having it if the Sahuagin were to come along.
Seems a little bit elitist of you.
Just a smidge.
It's a very secure lighthouse.
I mean, that's true, but it's also like right up on the cliff on its own. Very difficult to defend, whereas, you know, we've got 9 of us here.
And there's a plausible need she had a plausible need for the ring.
Which will make sure she gets it back.
But you weren't going to tell her she was going to get it back.
No.
Might want to check some of your morals on this one. You know, maybe you should have workshopped it a little bit. Got a focus group together.
That's it, Keith. Really lean into their guilt. You know, you need to do the eyebrows and the leaning and the come on now face. Yes, great.
Nobody wants to disappoint the bartender.
No.
You're going to make an excellent auntie someday.
I start cleaning a glass while I gaze at them.
Most of them do start kind of like mumbling and a bit like, "Oh, sorry." One of them, however, is like, "Yeah, told you. See, did not."
Now, don't be smug.
No, don't be the teacher's pet.
The Nine Tails.
What?
That can be your group name. The Nine Tails.
That still implies that
when you're individual, you're Nine Tails, but when you're all together, you're the Nine Tails.
What if
As
they're
like a
the
group-
900 tails?
Or that.
Well,
Keep your numbers secret.
Yeah.
counts in single file.
I mean, it kind of, you know, people just assume that we're talking about like a cat and 9 tails, like we're fast like a whip.
No one thinks that.
Oh. One of them pipes up. Yeah, I thought 9 lives was better, but I got shot down.
Right. Okay. So, we've solved the mystery of why you were stealing the ring, and obviously we're to assume that you were the ones that broke into Pommerjack's blacksmithery to check his books to see where it was sold.
Yeah, one of them kind of steps forward. Yeah. I'm the one who's got a little bit more blacksmithing knowledge, so that was me.
I have one final important question, but I want to throw to the group, the Hootenannies. Did you have any? I mean, we ought to sort of figure out what next steps are, but I do have another burning question, but it can wait.
I want to know where the other 2 rings are. Because they've disappeared, and they were in no Sahuagin pockets. Not that the Sahuagin had pockets. So what do you know about the wedding bands and why and why haven't we had a wedding yet if they've been recovered?
There
But
was.
also,
Oh no, sorry, you go, Keith.
it's not a question, but I just want to make you aware we have now replicas of the rings. Should you still want to go ahead of the investigation panning out, which of course we will continue to do. But there are no options.
Placeholders.
Oh, that gives me a really good idea. But before that really good idea, we did knock a few of the Sahuagin into the sea. So the ones that were knocked into the sea could have been the ones that had hold of the rings.
Oh, well, I don't imagine that they would have sent them if they had the rings and they want to keep the rings. They probably have kept them. As far as we know, they're underwater. We've been reluctant to go there.
Yes, water's not a great place.
But I've had an idea, and please tell me if this is a completely stupid idea. But what if characters' names that Josh has literally just forgotten, Isbeth and what was the Owlin's name? Patsy. What if Isbeth and Patsy get married with the replica rings? Like we stage the wedding again, and we put out into the town that the rings were found and the other rings weren't, just that the rings were found and that the wedding is happening again, and then we can keep an eye on who arrives and we can be like better prepared for if somebody tries to steal the rings again, as an idea, maybe, sort of.
Well, the assumption there is that the thief who wanted to get the rings doesn't have them. Whereas I think it's a wonderful idea. I'm all for subterfuge weddings. My only concern, though, is that if the Sahuagin indeed were the thieves, then they have the ring, so they have no need for, unless they want the third ring. So if we were going to do that, we could put into the gossip that because we couldn't find the initial two rings, the third, also magical ring, is going to be used instead.
We'd say it was split. Itself split once more.
Well, but then the blacksmith wanted that to be a secret, so we could just say that leftover materials from that ring, from those two rings, were used to make two new rings, just to keep the blacksmith's secret a secret still. I don't know. It's just an idea that popped into my head, so put it on the board. And I point to the tabaxi board, and then I'm like, no, that board.
So we say that.
I offer the reverse of my card to write the note on, to write the idea on.
To keep the blacksmith secret about making one ring a secret, we're going to say that the blacksmith made two rings, which is not a lie, because I'm sure that the blacksmith makes lots of rings.
Yeah, but we just don't say. We just say it was out of. Oh, I don't know. When the web of lies gets too complicated, I trip over myself. So that's me. That's my brain noping out now. So I'll leave that to everybody else to come up with the details. And
That's a really good idea.
I have one concern with the plan, which is Isabeth, dear. It's one thing to have one wedding ruined. Would you be willing to have a second potentially ruined for the purposes of tracking down this ring, or is that a bit much?
You don't need a translator for this gesture. Isabeth just clasps a fist in a paw and starts grinding.
Yes, to a vengeance wedding, that's what we like to see.
That's the attitude, yes.
She does kind of then elaborate that she might need to bring Patsy around to the idea, but
she'll be fine.
That is definitely something that they can look at. Right, one question though: is this going to be a real wedding, or is it going to be a fake wedding? And are we going to then have a third wedding? Because I'm thinking that some of us should probably be Ninetales already, so that we can jump out. Which means that we're going to miss the real wedding if it is a real wedding.
I think maybe have the whole Ninetales thing prepared. Like decide which one of you is going to be the one that's going to be the Ninetales, and then you jump. You disappear and then come back as a knight, just in case, because you don't want somebody to turn up who is involved in it and is incredibly intelligent and has worked out that one of you is the Ninetales, and notices that one of you is missing, and then goes, "Oh wait, the Ninetales is hiding in the wings. I'm not doing that," and then they disappear.
So a repeat of the plan for the first wedding.
Now, Brian, once more, I think actually she's sort of leaning over to Warren. Of course, the people who were working at the wedding only want to do it once more. Honestly, this feels like an opportunity to have 3 weddings. Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, we should keep practicing until we get it right. We should keep declaring and rehearsing until we get it right. I think this should be a double masquerade wedding, so that you can be nine-tailed under your main masquerade, so everybody knows that nobody knows who's who. Except
Masquerade
for
party.
a masquerade party.
Sorry, are masquerade weddings a thing?
I think they would be remembered forever.
As long as the
When
couple
true
getting
love is
married
revealed.
aren't masked.
Who got married? No idea.
No idea.
I
It's a
assume it was
surprise.
the ones who wanted to be.
But technically, like a veil, it serves the same purpose.
Right?
Mm.
Plus, any opportunity to try more of Keith's cocktails.
Yep, absolutely. I will be working the bar at all events. No days off for Keith.
Do you think that we should avoid the boat this time, though? Because that does give them the element of, coming at us from all sides, whereas at least we're somewhere in town. They're pretty much going to be coming from the shore.
However, we do want to bait them. So maybe on the coast.
Yes.
Beach wedding.
Beach wedding.
Masquerade beach wedding.
Masquerade beach wedding.
You do have some lovely beaches here, don't you?
Isabeth looks a little bit embarrassed and says, "Yeah, there's a few."
Good. Well, the locals
one
will
of
know
them is
the
definitely
options.
not suited to a masquerade wedding.
Surely, are you not allowed to wear? Is it? What are the rules about wearing masks to nudist beaches? Surely, as long as everything below the chin is nude, then that's okay.
If sunglasses are fine, I'm sure.
Wait, there's nudist
Right,
beaches?
No,
Let's
it's
fuss
new.
about
This
those.
beach is. It's a new. This beach is, Brian.
Oh, it's a new beach, right? Okay. Oh, had me worried for a second there.
Not that you should. Full flower of youth. No winking. All winking.
It's all wink.
I'm so
Both eyes
confused.
winking.
What am I doing? Am I being flirted with, or am I not?
Or just encouraged to come.
Masks encouraged. That's a policy I can get behind.
Oh,
So, Ninetales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A masquerade.
7 of them all answer, and then the 8
Hello?
one like, "Oh yeah."
A masquerade paper wedding, a secret scheme to entrap whoever stole the original rings by showcasing the 3rd ring. True love revealed and villains dealt with. I think this might be an amazing plan. And I run my hand through my hat of disguise thing to make myself look like a Ninetales. No one will know what comes next.
what?
Good idea. One of the guests who was never invited, so would not be expected to be there, is not at the second wedding. Perfect.
hey, hang on. We're just glossing over the fact that Warren just turned into a Ninetales.
No, that's a good point. I'd forgotten that I didn't know that he could do that.
I knew that you made your beak bigger. I knew it.
I knew you were the best of bartenders that I've ever seen. And I revert back to regular Warren with a slightly different beak, a 3rd version, just to keep you guessing.
I'm so confused right now.
So hang about. So we could all be at the wedding,
Mhm.
and you could be Ninetales in the wing, and then we can tag you out when we need to be the real Ninetales.
And nine tails on the wing, if you will.
We don't have a paladin, do we? No, we don't. It was too difficult to work the classes out.
While we set up the ruse masquerade wedding on the beach, we should also check in with the priest of Talos as well, just in case there is a connection there.
Yes, good thinking.
Do you want to handle that one, or should we? One of us go. There is one other thing that I think it's probably worth noting. Kind of points to a small point. It says full moon, and they've done some kind of calculations, and then they've circled today's date. Not to concern anyone, but we had the fake full moon on the boat. So we thought, well, we need to make sure that we are aware for the wares, where they are on the next full moon, and it's tonight.
Ah, that is worth knowing. Is anyone here a were person?
Not that I'm aware. Are you aware?
I am aware of one.
Oh gosh. So it would be useful to give the ring to the orca, the were orca person.
Had a bouncer.
Your friend, Bryn. Wouldn't it?
It would be, but I'm not part of the. I've been on the boat with him for, coming over from the Sword Coast, but not part of this. I think we need to try and keep our circle as small as possible, really, and we can't go trusting
Agreed.
it.
But do we also want to risk having to fight him?
I don't have him there.
True. Maybe he could be conveniently busy.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe there could be a brawl at another bar that he has to attend to.
Walk her out at.
Oh no, but then we are risking him endangering the civilians.
Well, if he knows about his orcaness, he may just take a sick day.
True.
Did he fight for? Who was he fighting for? Because it was all over quite quickly. We didn't see what happened.
I don't think he was in control because he went to attack me. So either he was confused and just lashed out, or he was being controlled by the priestess. I'm sure from when the weresharks were about, they had some sort of this is going to sound really horrible, but some sort of cage or something they could put them in for when they changed, maybe underwater, so they didn't. I don't know, but I think having Drew there is going to be a bit of a safety issue for us because Drew attacked me, so I don't know if Drew was enraged or under the control of the Sahuagin. So I don't think we can, as much as it pains me to say it, I don't think we can trust him with the ring or with being at the wedding.
Well, we scoped out the town's facilities and the guard tower. So they've got the guard gatehouse up the top, and then the guards, they've got their own little place which is nearby there. I don't know if they can hold an Olga, but it does seem like it's probably the most likely place that they'll be able to hold. I mean, even if it's not comfortable, it's only got to be brief, isn't it?
Maybe you ought to have a quick word with your boss, Brian, to facilitate that happening.
Yeah,
if you're
I
not
could go.
close to Drew.
Yeah, I could go talk to the captain and see. It'd probably be better coming from the captain anyway. More if Drew is not as keen on the idea, I think being given an order by the boss might sort of persuade him to do it. I did have a thought, and I seem to be having a lot of them at the moment, and I apologise.
Well,
It just seems to come in waves. 1 minute I'll just be quiet and let everybody else investigate, and I don't have a clue what's going on, and then things just sort of hit me, and I'm like, whoa, this is it. Anyway, when we spoke to the blacksmith had mentioned that the ring belonged to one of the people. The original ring belonged to one of the people in the town, the pigfolk person whose name I can't remember. But
Yeah, Lengfair Deer Hog.
That's the one. And then that ring was gifted to them by someone else, and that someone else was a wereshark.
You're in Gibbet Moon.
That's it. But that someone else was defeated by some other people, but their body was never found. So what if that is the person that's looking for this ring? Because not many people knew about the properties of the ring, other than the blacksmith and the person who originally owned it. And now us.
Umberly knew. Shut up. Someone throws a pillow at that cat.
It's true. So, could there be a thread there that we've not pulled on?
Add the thread to the board.
Notices and adds a thread to their board.
It goes to two completely different areas.
Okay. All right. Well, how do you what do you suggest doing about that specifically then?
I think it's something that we need to be mindful of, because the only way we're going to get information about that particular person is by going back to the blacksmith for a third time, and I think he's getting a bit sick of us.
Yes.
The other thing that we need to keep
and
in mind,
if we go back a third time, I run the risk of having to kiss them. So better not.
That's true. The other thing that we've got to keep in mind as well is that when it comes to doing the wedding, we do have a slight advantage, because if the Sahuagin priestess does come back, we will be able to detect her because we have the stone and she has the other stone. So we will know that they're coming. So we can prepare ourselves for an attack. Fully agree with the idea of being on a beach so that there's less options for us to be attacked on. But yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought now, so I'm going to go over here and eat an apple, and I'll just sort of walk over and just pick up another apple and start eating.
Okay. So we think we ought to make arrangements for another wedding this afternoon, this evening, later in the evening. Do we think that being evening because of the moon is important, or should we try and do it during the day?
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it does mean that they don't have to have the summoned moon if they want to use their wear powers. But then maybe that's the last thing they'd expect, us to do it when it's convenient for them.
Maybe we ought to try late afternoon before them. When is moonrise?
One of the cats kind of looks at a calendar and goes, I don't know. Is it summertime, or did the clocks change? Everyone have to move their sundials to the left.
Maybe we aim for an hour before moonrise.
Sure.
And then there's the flexibility there if it's useful.
I've got a feeling that they want the ring either before the full moon, or they're gonna really up their attack at the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's
Maybe
better to do it
afternoon.
closer to the full moon,
So they're more desperate.
because they'll be more desperate. They'll reveal themselves more readily, and of course, it's just so much more romantic for all of this to resolve itself under.
Dusk is a
Sunset.
pertinent time for a wedding.
A dusk beach wedding is very romantic.
Masquerade wedding on a nudist beach with the dusk. It's gonna have so many different types of setup. I don't even want to think about that right now.
What kind of full moon is required for lycanthropy?
Just sitting on a nudist beach and
The opposite of
and a
this.
lycanthrope's just like woof woof.
Okay, so arranging for a dusk beach wedding this evening. So a lot to arrange there. But in the meantime, we're going to go visit the Temple of Talos to see what's going on with this this preacher that is not the preacher that should be there.
Another idea. Sorry.
Yes, Brian, well done. You have lots of
I'm
them.
so sorry.
Don't exhaust yourself.
Is it all the
I'm
pastries?
trying not to.
Hey, be the pastries.
I am
Northern
really
pastry,
hungry.
famously brain food.
I'm starting to get hungry again, though. So we leave the wedding planning to the Nine Tails.
Mhm.
You can clap. None of you clap. Okay. Anyway,
What?
and then
Oh, yeah.
I meant the Nine Tails. It's fine. And then we go to go speak to the Talos priest stand-in person who is shouting things out into the town, and we tell them that the wedding is happening with the rings or the ring, and then they can be the one to spread that around the town.
Yes.
Oh, there's the town crier.
And the town crier.
Points to
Yes.
another name, Aberthon Seaward. Seaward. Word?
Hmm.
Forgotten my own name. Hang on.
Are they not the same person?
Oh, no. The Aberthon Seaward, Abberfen Seaword. No, they're a water genasi. They're the ones that always stands in the fountain so they don't get dry.
Oh,
Oh,
You
right.
said
Okay.
C word, and my brain just auto-filled it with something else.
Yeah, Brian is. I'm going to be right. I think that was my last idea. I'm going to be really quiet. Brian is acting like a child who's had too many E numbers at the moment, so he says he's going to be quiet, but you don't know. But he's eating another apple.
I pass you a flask with some water in it to try and wash some of that sugar out your system.
Okay then, before we go, I do have a couple of other questions I just want to check with the rest of you all. And I'm gonna give all the tabaxis a hard stare in turn. I just need to know, I don't have any magic for this, but I just want to get the cut of your jib. And she's going to first stare down to Ian. Are you a werefolk?
No?
Ichithet, are you a werefolk?
No?
Indigo, are you a werefolk?
How would I know? I don't think so.
Keith, note that on the board. Not sure. Ignatian, what's your favourite colour?
Yellow.
Ike, what is the square root of 25?
Maths roll. 9?
Wrong. Keith, put it on the board. Edith, what is your favourite animal?
Mole.
Ichabod, what is the story behind your surname?
Oh, well, you see, Oh,
Oh, I thought I'd got you there. Curses.
I've taken it to the grave and then probably a bit longer.
We will find out, just as surely as we shall find out what Baron is doing here.
Between me and the Feywild.
taking notes and holding your drink, my dear.
You said between you and the Feywild. Well, I'm from the Feywild, so nothing you can say will surprise me.
No. Maybe when all of this is done. And
We
probably
will
not
be-
even then.
We will fill them up with tequila at the reception.
Good
Get
work,
an
Keith.
answer then.
Good work. All right.
Fake reception or the next real reception.
Both.
Whichever works.
2 choices.
2 opportunities.
Okay. So, DM to players, just getting the plan. So, you are going to leave Ninetails to arrange the plans for the second wedding, having take place on the beach, so that it is close enough, but you've got a definite point of entry for any Sahuagin and or werefolk. Meanwhile, you are going to go and talk to the I clicked out of it. The Loxodon stand-in priest of Talos.
Young Harper.
Harper Putton. And then see where the day takes you, I suppose. You've arranged for a late afternoon wedding so that it will be the romantic red hues of dusk. Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go right? Fantastic. So yeah, knowing all of this, the cats flip their board over to the other side, which handily already had plans for the first wedding, and they start kind of making notes and adapting. Isabeth and Ian get together, and they've decided that they're going to go round to talk to Patsy and Pixie about the plan and make sure that they know what's going on and what to expect. And they're kind of divvying out different responsibilities. One of them does turn to you and says, are you going to tell the Herald, or should we tell the Herald?
We can tell the Herald on the way, right? Is the shrine on the way to... Is the fountain on the way to the shrine?
It is, yeah, from here, because we're on the cardinal directions. Western side of the high street, you've got to go up and then through the town square, which is where the fountain is, and then the Shrine of Talos is on the eastern side of the town. So you're going to pass him anyway, unless you take one of the lanes.
We'll do it.
Right. Ninetails and Hootenannies. And they all put their hands in Hootenannies. Oh, yeah.
Woo!
I have no idea what we're doing, and I walk out the door.
It was his idea.
I'm very confused.
The water flushed it out. Great. So yeah, you head out of the music shop, and meanwhile there's a flurry of activity as the Nine Tails start kind of, they shut up the shop and start to get everything ready for their side of the plan. In the meantime, you can head up through the town to where the Watergenazi Town Herald is stood shouting out the news. The main headline being Welsh accent, I think. Extra, lighthouse keeper robbed by mysterious figure. Also, drunk found snoozing in tree.
Brian, honestly.
I didn't drink anything. I also wasn't asleep. I was meditating.
Nor were you drunk.
You can't trust
was
what
I
you hear in the
drunk?
news.
No, the news is a reliable source of information, I'll have you know.
Oh, Brian. They didn't mention anything about the terrific snoring coming through the
I'm
town.
surprised they didn't mention anything about the terrific singing. It was quite a delightful time, that shanty.
I'm not surprised.
Sorry, Keith, did you have something to say?
No, I did not, ma'am.
The news always has a habit of focusing on the doom and gloom and never the happy stuff, so...
Well, we're here to celebrate the happy stuff, aren't we, Brian? The second round of the wedding between my niece and Isabeth Cuthgate.
Yes!
Says
It's gonna be
loudly
really
so the town
fun.
crier can hear.
It's going to be really good. It's good that they managed to find some replacement rings and all of this stuff. And I say everything that we said before.
Yes, cut from the same jib as the original pair. So I'm led to believe.
Give me a... Ooh, this will be fun. I will allow your choice of any charisma skill. Possibly except intimidation, unless it really goes wrong. I mean, if you really want to try and threaten the newsreader. But yeah, like performance, persuasion, deception, whichever you feel most comfortable with, I will allow... I'll allow everyone to have a go, if everyone's taking part in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's do it as a group.
Ooh.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
Yeah. Guidance always allowed.
I got a 22 on performance.
22 for performance. Emphia?
10.
10? Okay. Warren?
14 on deception.
14 on deception. Okay, so we've got high performance. We've got slightly less on the lying. Brian?
I've got a 16 on deception.
16 on deception. Okay, so I think overall, like, you know, you've got a 10, but again, that's average. On the whole, very convincing conversation. And those of you with I would say an insight over 14, I'm going to place it at, would notice that the Water Janazi's ears do seem to have pricked up. I mean, not in a Harangon way, but in a more noticeable humanoid way. Not that, anyway, getting distracted by my own metaphors now. Yeah, has definitely kind of taken note and is listening in, and looks like they might be as aforementioned, they don't carry copies of the news around because it would get wet in the fountain, but does look like they are contemplating adding some headlines. Sorry, did I overhear that right? Are you you all involved in the Hoot Cuffgate wedding?
I am a hoot, my dear. Yes, my dear niece.
In every sense of the word.
I mean, in some senses. But yes, the wedding is going ahead tonight at dusk. We're letting as many people know as we can.
All right.
High drama, high security, masks for everyone.
I mean, do you need a hand with that? I mean, I can. I'm not supposed to just make amendments, but I mean, if it was a sponsored piece to put in to the headlines, you know, I could do that as like a personal.
How would Keith? What's the name of the place you work?
Well, Sean, what's the name of the place I work?
Two anchors, the twin anchors. No,
The Twankers.
Yes.
Okay. The Twankers. Yes.
Twankers. How about bar tab at the Twankers? How'd that do you?
Oh, right. I'm not much of a drinker, ironically, but I mean, I'm sure that I could talk to the editor about that. I'm sure he'd find a use for it.
Yes, absolutely. That is so kind. I hadn't even thought of asking you to advertise that we need people to come back for the wedding. That's so kind. Thank you.
Oh, anything, of course. So just so I can get the details right, can you just give me all of the necessaries?
Yes.
Beach, masks, dusk.
Beach,
Dancing.
masks, dusk. Today.
Today, yes, today.
Weddings.
That's an important one.
Weddings. Rings.
Yes, we
Rings.
found new rings. Thank goodness.
You found new rings. Oh, good, because I remember that from a couple of days ago. There was gone scouse again. Never mind. You yes, I remember you lost the rings. There was a headline a little while ago.
Yes, and
Yes.
thank goodness
Yes.
that they managed to find rings cut from the same cloth. Not that
Well.
rings are made of cloth.
I mean, I
Snap-
suppose you could harden it with some sort of. We're getting beside the point. I'll start shouting about that now.
Very
Um,
special.
And yeah, with kind of renewed effort, starts to shout. Does it? I might have to take this around the town actually, because I'm going to have to drop off. You know, just make sure that the editor knows about it as well.
Oh, you can leave the fountain.
Oh yeah, I just prefer it because I mean I'm standing in the sun all day.
No, fair enough. Yeah, no, that's
Understood.
understandable. I'm so
There was-
relieved for you. I was a bit worried that you were stuck in the fountain forever. That's what I was led to believe.
Oh, I mean I don't leave often, but I can.
Okay, that's nice. Good for you.
I feel a little bit patronised, but
Oh,
hopefully, I mean the
get over
editor
it.
does like it when I bring news to them, so
Off you go then.
good job.
Thank you so much.
and we'll kind of plod out of the fountain. You do notice that they have kind of webbed feet and kind of leave a kind of flippy floppy webbed pattern as in the on the stones as they leave.
I lean into everybody else and just go. I did picture them having like buckets of water for shoes, but I was obviously mistaken.
That would be quite clumpy.
It would
I
be.
mean, I don't think they're cursed to only exist in water.
It's true. It's very true. Where are we going?
To the temple!
Right. Is that again?
It is only just off of the main thoroughfare, so you kind of go down a side street, and then you've got the shrine to Talos, which has a description that I totally already have up on my other window.
Sure.
I'm not clicking around or anything.
Why have you got posters on your window?
Yeah, posters. The Shrine of Talos is conical. If you imagine like an Oast house building, so kind of conical with like a cylindrical but then like canonical roof. Conical? Conical.
Canonically
it is
has a
canonical
roof.
now. I've described it twice. With
So like a full Borg.
it has broad wooden beams and very Spartan decoration. Those of you who had visited the Shrine of Lathander would know that it is very ornate, very kind of well decorated, whereas this is much more basic, sparse. There is an iron weather vane in the shape of 3 lightning bolts striking the same spot, which sits on the peak of the building, connected to the floor by a seam of iron running down the front of the building and splitting into 2 to frame the door. And you look at, you notice that the burnt wood touching the iron channel and the blasted stones at the bottom indicate that this weather vane has probably acted as a conductor for lightning on more than just the few occasions. At the moment, there is a heavy-duty chain keeping the temple locked, though it crackles with residual energy. Stood outside, there is a 7-foot-tall Loxodon, looks quite young, has very kind of short but spiked, almost like gelled hair. Has short tusks, wears baggy, ill-fitting clothing, and has a medallion around his neck depicting 3 lightning bolts. And he's just sweeping at the moment.
Chief.
Yes.
Yeah, you could get their attention by speaking to them in Loxodon. You get to practice.
Well, if I do need to whip out the old linguistic skills, so be it. Hello there, I say in Loxodon.
His ears do kind of... Oh, it's very rare to be spoken to in my native tongue. Are you from around here?
I am, my good,
Man,
Man.
you see him? I'm Harper. I'm not a Harper, but I'm called Harper.
Oh, very good, very good. Harper who is not a Harper.
I
My
would
name
like
is-
to be a Harper, but I'm not a Harper.
Oh, you would. You'll get there one day. You keep trying.
Maybe.
But hello, my name is Keith. I am a bartender at the Twankers, just down the road.
Oh, I've not been. Is it a little bit more convenient for me to go to the King's Shoulders, but...
Yes, well, their cocktails may have a little bit of grime in there, so, you know. Anyway, that's professional. It doesn't matter. We are the Hootenannies.
I would love to know what Hootenannies is in Loxodon, so that then everybody knows that we've been indicated.
I know.
Like, we just like,
But they talk like this.
Keith just says, the Hootenannies, and we're all like, what? Hose.
Furl. Unfurl.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions? We might go back to common for the uncultured over there.
We'll switch to common and well, yeah,
My beak is burning.
I don't mind. Are you here for a sermon? Because I mean, it's a bit late. I don't mind talking to you about, the virtues of Talos. Are you a worshipper already?
No, but we'd heard lots about your sermons.
Yeah,
And
they're,
we're
they're quite
wondering-
popular. I think the beatboxing definitely adds an angle.
Oh, delightful. Is it sung in rhyme as well?
I do my best. I'm not ordained. It's a hobby really.
Could you
kind
give us
of-
an example?
Yes.
He grabs his trunk and kind of squeezes the end of it, and there is just like a as he's just using the trunk to beatbox. Did you want me to sing and all?
Yes,
all right.
please.
So he kind of starts up again with the trunk, just a. Well, let me tell you a tale about a god named Talos. People think he's mean, but he ain't got malice. If you disagree, you can go eat a phallus, because you're just jealous of my dog Talos.
Wow.
He's
Sorry,
not
I'll
a
get a bit-
regular priest.
I'll get a bit
He's a
into
cool
it.
priest. The worst kind of priest.
That
Okay.
was really fascinating. You're gonna have to teach me how to do that. That was really cool.
I'll definitely try. It might be different because your nose is a lot shorter than mine, but I can help.
Wait. Hang on. No, have I? Maybe. Josh is trying to think if he can wild shape into an elephant or not.
Even if you can, you couldn't do the rapping part.
Oh yeah, it's true.
You've got to choose your discipline. Unfortunately, beatbox, elephant, or rapping druid.
I'm sure there's a way we can do it. I'm sure it'll be fine. But anyway, on to the reason why I'm sorry, I'll be really quiet in the background now.
No, it's fine. I'm still processing those quite specific instructions for non-believers. Now, I want to be clear. So you are not ordained.
No, I mean, it's like I'm not officially the priest. Tetch didn't like leave me in charge, but it's important that people have something to look forward to. Look up to.
And you were you were an attendant at this temple beforehand, so you've not just rocked up to spread your truths.
Which one looks the least needy and desperate?
The truth.
I was in the. I always came, like when Tetch was here. I was always there in the pews. But no, it wasn't something that he knew that I was interested in.
Okay, so now that he's gone, I mean, obviously you're very passionate, which is wonderful. But what brought you to? What were you doing with your days before sweeping around the temple and beatboxing?
Oh, I mean, I still do. I've probably got to get to work at some point. I work in the cafe around the corner.
Right. Keep trying, Brian. You'll get there one day.
Ryan, I'm just in the corner.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Give him his privacy.
Keith, what was on the map? What else did we need to ask?
Sean, I don't remember.
All good. The main thing I think was to make sure that there wasn't a kind of link between the worshippers of Umberly and the kind of godly disputes between over the domains of storms when they happen at sea.
Okay. So we were just wondering, have there been any altercations with followers of Umberly as of late?
Umberly, not that I know of. It's kind of a in this town, like nobody's apart from like the priests and the clergy and talented amateurs like myself. Nobody's like, oh, this is the only god I believe in. I don't believe in the rest. Like everybody kind of makes sure that all the gods are happy. So I think everybody, especially if they're going to make a journey to sea, they all put like an offering in the shark head. It's like a little idol. There isn't a proper
official shrine to Umberlee.
And has anyone come to make an offering in the last couple of days of note?
To Talos or to Umberlee?
To both, if you know.
I wouldn't know about Umberlee. I mean, short of going and counting up the coins in the shark head, I don't even know if anybody comes to collect them. I suppose they must, otherwise it'd be overflowing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens to the coins in the shark head.
Okay. Has anyone come to pay their respects to Talos of note?
Oh no. Well, I think the really kind of fervent people. They'll go to the Dawn Lords and then they'll come to us because you've got to make sure that fair weather and inclement weather you're covered in all your bases. And then specifically, if you're having a journey, you try and make an offering to Umberlee. There's some other deities around, but generally a lot of people come to all, I think. Sorry, I didn't really realise that I was going to have to take note.
No, that's all right.
The mayor's here. The mayor's always here.
Right.
Any chance they can get to flash about and be seen, they take that.
Have you noticed any unusual weather happening as a result of, say, someone's come to pay their respects and pay an offering? Has the weather changed? Or do you think in a way that Talos has responded?
It rained the other night, but we've not really had any storms. It's always a bit frustrating. You can feel it in the air. You can feel it in the air too, right? Right? Do I have powers?
Can we?
Can we?
Ooh, nature check.
Ooh.
Nature check.
Nature check.
Got a dirty 20.
I got a dirty 1.
Oh, ouch!
A dirty what? Does that mean that you've got a minus?
I rolled a 2 and I have a -1.
11 for me.
Josh?
Brian is not paying the blindest bit of attention to what's happening. He's gone very quiet in the background and is staring off into the distance.
I see. Fair enough. Okay. 31. Not a clue. You've never noticed at all when you've been kind of during storms, like
it's always sunny around Emphia.
For Emphia.
With it was at 11, wasn't it, Steve? I think.
At 11, that's right.
11. You think back, you think probably like maybe there's been like you certainly know that there's a chill in the air. You wonder whether that's what he means.
Yeah.
Keith, I think during a storm, it's always a hair-raising event. Thank you. Definitely noticed that. Like there is just that kind of tingle, like when there's not been a storm for a while. There's an energy to the air that needs to be released, and it is something that you have noticed, definitely.
Yes, the energy, the fur stands on end. I think we all know what you mean.
Maybe it's a Loxodon thing then.
Maybe. I do have to tell you, even though I speak the language, I am not a Loxodon.
Oh well, in Loxodon culture, if you speak the language, then officially you are one of us.
Excellent. I should go back to wherever
Loxodonia.
Loxodonia. Oh God. I should holiday there, really absorb the culture a bit more.
I'm gonna have to find out now because I really want to know.
How do you know? Like Keith, did Keith Gapyar there for a little bit, but not really take the sights in?
Sorry,
Well-
what there?
Gapyar.
Gapyar. We're back in Bridgerton.
If anyone had bothered to ask about my backstory, there may be a reason, but nobody cares.
Wow.
Damn.
I was gonna add. It looks like it's Ravnica, so plain.
Oh right.
Mm.
Their Magic the Gathering.
I don't know.
Some gatherings can be magic, like the upcoming wedding. Have you heard?
There's a wedding.
There's the yesterday's interrupted wedding is set to resume tonight at the beach at dusk.
Oh, I wasn't invited to the last one, but I mean, they don't really know me that well, to be honest.
This one's going to be a masquerade, so if you fancy a party, you can always sneak in.
This guy wasn't invited to the first one, so.
No.
I didn't do much sneaking though.
Just walked in.
I mean, I'm slightly more noticeable, but maybe I mean, it's a public beach, right?
Hey, look, Harper, you weren't at the first one, which means that you definitely weren't the person who caused it to be cancelled. So, that's a win in our books.
You seem like a very earnest young Loxodon.
Maybe
so
you
if
could
wanted to
beatbox there.
I mean,
chimes for the couple to peck over the course of the reception. There's usually tests of skill.
I will note though, it's a phallus-free union, so you may want to adjust your lyrics.
So yeah, I'll get into it. Well, yeah, all right. I can clean up. Are you involved in the wedding?
I am the auntie of one of the brides.
Oh, so I've been invited by the family then. All right, I definitely feel comfortable coming now then.
This could only go well. Is there anything else we need to ask this man?
No, this priest was surprised, was a lot more earnest than I had expected.
I just wanted to do it,
You have a remarkable presence. How has the rest of the parish taken to your surprise and sudden sermons? Are you?
I think some of them are, just happy to have someone, read some of the scriptures to them, but some of them are a bit more conservative and don't necessarily like my style. But if I want to become a pillar of the community, I've got to work on getting the old fuddies to like me.
Any particular old fuddies wishing for the good old days or hearkening for the main priest to return?
I think Ian Bychester's a fairly upstanding, likes the a bit more on the conservative side. I'm going to spell it for you. EAEN BISSICESTR.
BISS?
BISSICESTR. TER. Ian Bychester.
Sure, Sean. That is what that collection of letters spells. Sure.
Yeah, he's one of the rich folk that lives in one of the bigger houses on the eastern side. Quite outspoken about the beach.
Which beach?
The
I'm new in town. Tell me.
You just said phallus in front of us.
The nude beach.
Yes, there you go. Why is that embarrassing?
Or do you need to say it in a rap form?
Yeah, I lose myself in my lyrics.
Well, it's the movement, the moment. You can't ever let it go. It's the thing that happens. What? He's only got one shot. Yeah.
We done here? What do we think? Should we investigate the shark head quickly to see if there's anything that's left in there?
Drop by the shark head, yeah.
Yeah, I think stopping by the shark head is a great.
Or as the locals call it, the shed.
You did also want to talk to the bouncer. Let's not forget about Drew.
No.
No, that's true. Do we know where Drew's going to be?
Slow burn.
Do you know where? Do you know where Drew's going to be?
You left him back
Brian?
on the sugar snap.
Brian.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go do that. What are we doing?
What's up, dear?
Nothing. What's up? Where are we going?
I'm going to give Brian a hard stare. What were you staring at?
Nothing. I
Insight.
was listening intently.
I rolled a 24.
I'm not
On an
even gonna
insight
bother. I need a natural 20 on deception. Brian is the entire time. Brian has been masking
Mm-hmm.
his feelings.
Yeah. Maybe as we walk away from the shrine, if there's nothing else we want to do here, we'll put a feathery arm round your shoulder, probably having to reach up a little bit. And now, dear, I know you were feeling a little worse for wear yesterday. How has a good night's sleep done you?
I was all right. I was all right this morning for a little bit, and then as the day's gone on, and things have just been coming back. But I didn't want to be a burden to the rest of the hootenannies, so I was.
My dear, we're half bird.
I feel all kinds of ways about that statement, and I just don't know how to express it. But yeah, it's. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. If I stare off, if I give a 10-yard stare, I'll be fine.
We do worry about you. We may have only met less than 24 hours ago, but you are one of us now.
It feels like it was weeks ago.
Well,
that just shows the depth.
The depth
of
of,
our
our
concern.
friendship.
It felt like that we were only meant to be together for a short period of time, but our time together seems to have been extended somehow.
Yes. And
Lifetime is relative.
People often feel like that they spend a short time with me and they get to know me very well, and it feels like we've been friends forever and ever.
And you don't feel the need to ask a lot of probing questions.
Oh, I
Just
do,
accept
though.
everybody.
Wait,
Accept
even I'm
about
on
how
that
we're
train.
feeling.
Even I'm on that train. No, it's just the same stuff that was. It's just the same sort of stuff that was wrong with me yesterday. It's just it's just taking a little bit of adjusting, just getting my
Nothing
head
wrong.
around.
Nothing
with
wrong
it.
with you, dear. You're allowed to feel your feelings.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just I'm just going through the motions. Just let's focus on this. Having something to focus on will hopefully help me move past it. I think I don't know, but thank you for checking in. I won't mask it anymore. I'll be less annoying. Sorry.
No, it's not annoying, but it's good to know that you trust us to tell us when you're feeling a bit rough. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Promise?
Yes. Thank you for
That's
the
fair.
water earlier, Keith, as well. Had a bit of a strange taste to it. Are you sure it was all water?
Pretty sure. I mean, what kind of water do you normally drink?
The clear kind?
Oh, I look at it. It's like, that was gin. Here's some actual water.
Oh, okay. That's better. My mouth is really dry. I ate so many pastries this morning without any form of drink, and then I was given gin. And then a bit
It was
dry mouth.
sparkle gin as well, like the ones that I go for the wedding that has like little bits of glitter in it.
You can see there's some
It's
remnants
pretty-
of it on my tongue.
Little bits of glitter caught in your teeth. It's very a bracing smile.
Hmm.
That's not the word. That's not a word.
It's like stones grinding on your teeth.
And as
Right,
we're
that's-
walking to the temple, I'm just going to be like, so, Keith, why do you speak Loxodon?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting story.
That's where you cut to break, Sean.
Is that a cut to break story? Okay, all right. Oh, I was really interested as well, but yeah, I suppose. Yeah, let's.
That was when we were going to get some important Keith backstory then.
No, we never get to. Evie made a thing of it, so we never get to hear it now.
Yes, I think that is probably high time for our break. Yes. Sorry, I was just very entertained by you four. So, oh yeah, I'm timekeeping. We have a riddle, because that is what we do at the rise of the Silver Siren. So, the riddle is, I can be made but not kept. I can be dropped, but it can't be put down. Yet, if you come back to me, I can be picked up again. I may be held and can be heavy or light, but either way, it's hard for one person to carry me for long. What am I? I will read that again because it's quite a long one. I can be made but not kept. I can be dropped, but I can't be put down. Yet, if you come back to me, I can be picked up again. I may be held and can be heavy or light, but either way, it's hard for one person to carry me for long. What am I? And we will see you after the break. Welcome back. Hope that you are all rested, watered, all of your other needs are met, fulfilled, except for that one itch for more D&D, which is what we're here to scratch now. I mean, obviously, if you scratch that one, I feel like I need to just move on. We set a riddle. We set a riddle at the end of the break, and I'm going to leave it to... did any of our players get it?
Yep.
I don't know if I did or not, so
Okay.
I will defer to the people who seem confident.
I'm not sure, but I have an excitable guess. But I will.
Okay. I'll ask Evie first, and then Steve, confirm if it's the same thing. So, Evie, what did you get?
Is it an argument?
Oh, argument. I would definitely accept argument. Steve, what was yours?
Mine was the beat.
The beat.
That was my guess.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, the thing with riddles, especially riddles that I've come up with myself, there are probably extra things that I've not thought of. What I had been thinking, Josh, did you have any inklings?
I was going to say a baby.
Very, very little. Little and literal. Making a lot of malapropisms right now. The word I had in my head was conversation, which is why I think argument I would definitely accept. And I mean, honestly, the beat is a fun answer, and two of you got it. So yeah, I don't see why not. Let's inspirational round, I think. Let's go. I'm feeling kind. D8s. D8s for everyone.
You're spoiling us.
Oh my goodness.
Will we remember to use it?
That's what I'm counting on. Right. So we pick up. Now you were going to head down to the Sugar Snap where you would find Drew. However, you wanted to go via the idol to Umberley, weren't you?
Just a quick stop. Just see what's in the shark head. Keith was going to tell us why he knows Loxodon.
Well, as we zoom back in, and that's the story of my journey and how I know these various languages, including Loxodon.
Fascinating, Keith. You've got so many hidden layers.
Just goes to show you that a bartender is never just a bartender.
Quite.
So many layers, like a cabbage.
All right, cabbages. So you don't have to travel far to get to the Shark Head. It is cardinal directions. It is on the western sort of side of the town, not far from the mayor's house. The mayor's house, those of you who have seen it, even if you haven't seen it, you would definitely have heard it because it's covered in all sorts of bells and wind chimes and everything. And being a coastal town, you hear it before you see it a lot of the time. And this street is kind of the air is rife with the sound of these kind of distant chimes, slightly discordantly ringing in the background. It is a 10-foot wide cobblestone alley, and it seems to be kind of like a back alley for some of the shops that have their front out on maybe the market square or one of the side streets. So this is kind of like the back alley of those. So there's lots of barrels and boxes and just general kind of refuse been sort of left here. And it is also the location where there is a 2-foot tall shark head effigy. It's about halfway down this kind of alley. My way to help you imagine it is if you imagine like the Jaws poster, just like the shark head coming up from the bottom. So it's almost as if the shark is breaking out of the water, but the water is the cobblestones, and it is slightly kind of recessed into the wall behind it. And the mouth is hollow. It's got little rows of sharp teeth, and you can see that there's bronze and some silvers. Sorry, copper, not bronze. So who's throwing bronze into the fake coins? Yeah, copper and silver, the odd gold piece as well, for particularly dangerous or long journeys, that people have thrown in as offerings.
Can I hit it with a detect magic?
Ooh.
See, all manner of things that are appropriate for offerings. Things found might be left as offerings in gratitude for the journey that was safe.
Okay. It's not really. It's not a roll, is it? It's just a thing that happens.
It's just a thing that happens within 30 feet. Says magic in any way. Blocked by foot of stone, inch of common metal, thin sheet of lead.
Okay.
Much more wood or dirt. But I'm like, so I'm rather the effigy and looking at it.
You can see like some of the bronze coins, have some transmutation magic where someone's clearly thought they could get away with transmuting something.
The gods are not mocked. Yes, okay.
But apart from that kind of slight residual tang, the shark's head itself does not appear to be bestowed with any kind of magical properties. I don't think the nature of this spell would allow you to detect anything kind of divine in nature necessarily. Though, do you have paladin-y powers that would?
This is my paladin-y power, so it would be.
Oh, is it like more of a detect evil and goody thing?
No, that's a different. Do I have that? No. I have protection
from
divine
sense, or is that? I think that's clerics that might have divine sense.
No, I do have a divine sense. Let me check.
New character, who dis?
Sacred weapon, turn the unholy divine sense. I can, yes, divine sense. Yeah. I can also detect good and evil. So let's use that as well. If there's nothing in the, sort of the arcane crafted, maybe somebody put a couple of rings in there. I would be hoping against hope, but let's divine sense.
The shark's head is blinged out. I can tell you. Using detect evil and good, you can definitely get a kind of evil sense from this. Umberlee is not a benevolent deity in any sense of the word. Offerings to Umberlee tend to be more to appease her rather than praise. So, okay. And this effigy does exude this kind of aura of underlying threat that at your own peril, should you go on a journey and not have already made peace with Umberlee, or try to fob her off with bronze.
Just reading the divine sense, there's also, I could pick up the location of celestials or fiends within 60 feet, or undead within 60 feet. Is there anything?
Oh, it gives you extra stuff.
Yeah, there's extra stuff for this.
Okay. I think with 60 foot, you said?
60 foot, yeah.
So within that radius, you would get the Shrine of Lathander, okay. Which is definitely a kind of hallowed ground area. There is a tinge actually coming from it that hasn't quite been expunged. Don't not forget to use that word expunged, so I'm going to use it again. Expunged. This like slight taint of the were shark that had previously the previous priest had succumbed to the curse, and you can tell that because he was held there for I think I remember my own lore, a day I think it was. Yeah. This priest was kind of sequestered in his own shrine to try and avoid, changing amongst too many people. And yeah, there is this kind of just underlying, like almost like a slight whiff of evil just underneath the Febreze scent of good that the priest has tried to just layer over the top. With a bit further out, I'm just trying to think if there's anything 60 foot. You probably also get a little bit of a taste of Pommerjack, who is obviously a tiefling, so does have that kind of infernal heritage. It's much more of a kind of I guess you know, you can determine between evil, active, wanting to do kind of evil, and the kind of hereditary lineage kind of side of things. So Pommerjack does flag up when you catch that, and then another presence not too far from Pommerjack, but how much detail does it give you?
It's location of anything affected by the Hallow spell, so Lathlander Shrine. Location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 foot.
Celestial fiend undead. Okay. Yeah, with that, you kind of get a bead on where Pommerjack is, and you'd realize where the blacksmith is in relation to where you're kind of stood at the moment. So you kind of pinpoint that. And then there's another kind of slightly tainted presence not far from it, but I would say that you, having visited him twice, you're much bit more can't get my words out now. Familiar with Pommerjack.
Okay.
And you're not so certain what this other blip on your radar is.
Okay.
Wherein you look confounded.
Well, there's I mean, this town has its history. There's a lot of activity. So, Umberly is not a deity to be trifled with, but we already kind of knew that, and people might be the bronze givers might be very unhappy to learn their fates. I could pick out Lathlander and the Wereshark taint traces of the curse, people affected by the curse there, and there's just something near Pommerjack. It's not Pommerjack. It's not the smithy itself, but there is something awry.
Something
around
you think
there.
Is relevant that we ought to investigate?
I think if we pass by Pommerjack and once more, it's not a strong pull, but it was just, I can't pin it down.
Would it be family? Does Pommerjack have any children?
I mean, we didn't see any baubles or whatnot, but
well, let's check it out on our way to see Drew.
Sure, let's go. Let's continue to go see.
Does anyone have any coins to leave in the shrine? I don't want to take a risk.
No, I seem to have been expunged of all of my coins.
What a good word, Breen. What a great word. You should say it again.
Expunged.
Well done.
Makes me feel things.
Maybe don't say it again. That's enough for you.
Sorry, yes, I should elaborate on that. It makes me feel smarter.
Okay.
Using big words.
Keith, it looked like you said something, but the sound did not come out of your mouth.
Sorry, it's a childhood ailment. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Fine. So none of us has any money to pay respects.
I have a few coins, and also I have a passel of soon tokens from my goddess, the goddess of love, of course.
Oh.
And
do you not think Humberly would be a little upset if we left your goddess's tokens there?
I think almost as a look. I mean, the course of true love never did run smooth, so perhaps she'll appreciate our intentions are not to add to conflict, but not to roil things up, but maybe just calm things down. Somebody stole wedding rings. We think they might be at the within her domain. Let's announce our intentions slyly. So I'll put something with all appropriate respect between the deities. I'll leave a token, the token of Emberly that I have, a token of Soon, and some Electrum coins in the
Electrum. No one carries Electrum.
Like you just whipped out a checkbook.
Traveler's checks. That's just
Keith, add this to the board.
Oh, it's added. There's just pictures of money bags next to it.
But they're so shiny.
So many positive attributes, and yet I still just don't trust them.
It's the beak. The changing.
What?
The changeable beak. The changeable beak.
Yes. It's not just all beaks in general.
Yeah. Okay, well, I was going
It's
to say.
adaptable.
Anyway.
Drew! Let us find him. To Drew!
Drew with a mysterious presence.
With Drew, we shall proceed.
Lovely. So the sugar snap is where you previously left it because there was damage to the mast. The sails, I think it was needed some repairing. So they were certainly for the time being waylaid. And yeah, you can certainly come aboard. You are with Brian, who had previously come up, arrived via this ship, so you would know enough people to be able to get onto the ship.
Captain, my captain.
1 second. Where's my boat?
It's here. We're standing on it.
You think you're so special because you have boats?
Captain Mo Rust was the name, in case you had forgotten.
Because you definitely hadn't. You definitely weren't just looking up.
No.
Liam, my lad.
Oh, all right, Captain.
How be you?
I've been better, but I'm plodding along. Is Drew around?
Oh, aye, he's recovering.
Did you know that there's going to be a full moon tonight?
I did not. That is an interesting development, certainly. I take it that this is not a social call, then.
No, the Hoots and the Tabaxi are going to be having their wedding on the beach. So just wanted to make sure that Drew was somewhere safe so that they don't orca out and hurt people. I was hoping you could organise that because I don't know if Drew will listen to me. It's a request, Captain, not an order. Sorry. I
mean, as far as I was aware, Brian, you were you wanted passage to Kythyss, and then you were going to find your own way. So I appreciate the formalities, but you're not.
Oh, I thought I was still technically under employ until the wedding has been finished. But if you wouldn't mind doing it for me as a favour, that'd be brilliant.
I mean, you might be right. I might have to reread your contract. That's damn hoisted by me own petard. All right. Well, I suppose I owe you a day's pay then. Rifles through his pockets and gives you a gold piece.
Oh, thanks. Yes, it'll be good. Thank you. Oh, go put that in that fat. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll get myself some cakes later. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you'd be asking that Drew be kept away from the wedding.
Kept away from the wedding, and and if possible, away from anybody that he could potentially injure, especially with the way that he reacted before, and obviously if you could tell him as well that that's what's happening, just so he's aware. I don't want him to be scared.
He's already aware.
This is true.
Sorry.
This is true. Yes, but yeah, I'm just a bit worried about him being scared and alone. So, if he at least knows that what's going to happen, it's not going to be like a surprise to him or anything, and he's not going to feel like he's being. At least I hope he's not going to feel like he's being. What's the word I'm looking for? Punished for the affliction that is now on him.
Certainly, it's gonna take a fine hand to make sure that he's doesn't feel excluded.
Yes, and you have a fine hand. You have two fine hands.
I do indeed.
You're
right.
not winking, you say.
I mean, you can't tell. He wears an eye patch, so is it blinking? Is it winking?
Oh. Oh yes, sorry. Yes, if you wouldn't mind, please. Okay.
Right. I'm thinking that maybe I might need to get in some external help to. Drew is definitely in a amenable mood. So I think that just being reasonable will definitely land.
Okay.
It's
just
not.
make sure can you just make sure he doesn't get hurt, please? I wouldn't want him to get hurt.
Well, I am also thinking that if he did turn part orca while on board the ship, that is quite a small space down there. So we'll probably need to find him somewhere else.
Somebody.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, Bryn. I think you were going to say the same thing as I.
Well, I'll let you say it. I've spoke a little bit, quite a bit, so I'll let you talk.
He's your captain.
Captain Mo, at your pleasure.
Oh,
That's
really?
a very elaborate bow.
What an offer. Well, worth bearing in mind for later. Anyway, I did hear tell that the guards here had some sort of facilities for previous were shark inhabitants. Now, obviously, they're not quite as large as a were orca, but maybe they would be able to help you look after Drew. But a friendly face, I imagine, would aid in that situation, given that, being locked in a cage is not ideal for anyone.
Certainly, I think that the angle of it being a full moon is probably a imminent danger that they will appreciate. So maybe I can go and keep Drew some company.
Yes, not in the cage yourself, though.
No, that doesn't sound wise.
No.
Okay, well, is that everything that you need? We do still have some of the supplies from yesterday's debacle, so if you would like to take any of the tables and...
Yeah, I think that'd be handy. If some of the crew wouldn't mind taking it to the beach, we'll give the captain the location of the beach that we're doing it on.
And we definitely decided it was not the nudist beach.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Did we? Yes, we did.
Is it the only location that's available at such short notice? I mean, you'll never know. Yeah, I imagine that it would be a kind of section of the beach beyond like where the large amount of the fishery kind of activity goes. There would be a section before the dunes that then lead to said nudie beach.
I've got a question about the nudist beach. Is wearing clothes optional, or is it as soon as you touch the beach that your clothes sort of like magically disappear?
Oh, I've been to a place like that before. That was fun.
No, I believe it's a clothing optional beach. So
okay.
You could wear a swimsuit if you wanted. You'd probably just be stared at.
Right, that seems odd, because normally when you're on a normal beach and somebody walks across naked, they normally end up getting... There's so many things that I'm learning.
It's a matter of etiquette. I believe you'd be called a meerkat is the technical term.
But I'm not a tabaxi. How does that work?
we'll,
Follow-up questions out of character. A, is that a real thing? And B, Sean, why do you know?
yes, people who pop their heads up over the dunes just appear on nudists. Yes, they are known
Right,
as
okay.
meerkats.
Oh, I thought that was like a complicated Birkin pun. This is even more amazing.
Genuine. And I'm not telling. So, so you've told the captain what you want to do. Is the intention, therefore, to leave him to kind of deal with Drew? Is there anything else you wanted to do while you're on the sugar snap?
I might actually go talk to Drew, if that's all right. If that's all right with everyone, I might want to go talk to the big guy.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Yes, your colleague.
It's been a while since Keith's made me a drink anyway, so we could do a little relax on deck, you know? The captain can tell me more about the services he provides.
You relaxing, me working, that sounds about right.
Actually, Emphia, could you come with me, please?
Oh, certainly. Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Keith, put one on aside for later. I'll take it on the way out.
I know your order.
Okay, so
Right.
you head below deck on the sugar snap. So Brian would be familiar with the layout, so you don't have to be too you would know where kind of Drew's quarters would be. Pretty much some of the first quarters that you come to, purely because most of the rest of the ship is slightly less accessible. But the bits of the ship you see, the upper deck is very kind of well decorated, well maintained. Like the paintwork is all very fresh and new. Below decks, pretty much the opposite. It's all bare wood. There's none of the kind of anyone who's ever worked in retail will know that the kind of shiny exterior does not extend anywhere near the back of house. So it's very much that kind of feeling of this is the shiny front that we put on weddings and stuff, but then as soon as anybody's paid their fee and starts traveling with us, I'm afraid you're slumming it with the rest of us. But yeah, you do manage to find Drew's quarters easily enough.
Okay, right. Oh, thank you for coming with me, Emphia. It means a lot.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay, let's go. And then I open the door to walk in. I let Emphia go in first.
Well, no, you ought to go in first because Drew doesn't really know who I am.
Good point. Yeah, and then I walk in.
Brian, good to see you. Are you all right?
Hey, Drew. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. I actually came to see how you are. Are you doing okay? This is my friend Emphia, by the way.
Pleased to meet you. Emphia Hoot.
Watcher. We'll kind of try to daintily as possible shake your hand, but ogre-sized hands is very trying to move as little as possible, and you still kind of get a little bit jolted. Still a little bit fuzzy about what happened. Very, very strange.
Is everybody on the crew all right with you? There's nobody's being weird towards you, are they?
They're giving me a wide berth.
Okay. I've just told the captain, but I thought it'd be best. I was going to leave it to the captain, but you know how the captain can be a bit unreliable. I just wanted to let you know that there's going to be a full moon tonight. So it's going to happen again. There is somewhere that you can go if you didn't want to be around people when it happens. The captain has said that he'll go there to keep you company.
Oh, right. I don't want to hurt nobody.
No, I didn't think so, but so yeah, the captain's going to come and help you get there, and then we're doing some stuff. I've got some things that I need to take care of. I'm helping with the wedding again. They're doing it again today at dusk, so I'm going to help with that. And then once that's over and done with, I'm going to come and check on you. And if it's done early enough, I'll sit with you throughout it all.
I'll make sure that they keep me somewhere secure.
Okay, good. Right, buddy. I best get going. And then I'll just dive at him and give him a big hug.
Like again, like you're trying to kind of get your hands as far around an ogre's body as you can, and your hands aren't going to meet, but and he does kind of as gingerly as possible, just like pat your back and like hold your arm.
Sorry.
Sweet.
Sorry. I know we haven't known each other that long, but I don't like to see my friends get hurt. So, and that looked like it hurt you. So, not the hug, the other thing. So, I just want, I'll see you later. Okay.
Brian is a good friend.
Thank you. I try to be. Thank you, Emphia. And we can walk out, and then I'm just gonna sort of gingerly hold my hand out towards Emphia.
She will take it.
And then, because Brian, for an Eladrin, Brian is very young. So he sort of holds it and squeezes it a little bit before letting it go again, and then sort of...
Don't be ridiculous, come here! And she will scoop you up into a hug.
Wait, you're considerably smaller than me, but this actually feels really nice, thank you.
Yeah, see, I'm a comfy head to rest upon. And you're a good lad, Brian.
Thank you.
You're doing your best.
That means a lot coming from you. Once I'm more myself again, I still like to have that fight against you. That
oh, absolutely.
Because
I'll kick your ass, dear.
I fully expect you to, and I'm looking forward to it. Although, with all of the other conversations that you've had with the other grown-ups, please don't take that out of context.
Oh, what? No, don't be silly.
Okay, good. Right.
I have my range of appropriateness, dear. Don't you worry.
Have we reached it yet?
No.
Okay.
Nowhere near the edges.
I saw Keith had a tally on the board of number of suitors you have.
Oh, Keith doesn't know the half of it. This is just what's happened in Kythyss.
Oh, I don't think that's a story that I want to hear. I think, my ears are burning.
Okay,
Let's go.
Yeah. Another time.
What are Keith and Warren up to on the deck at the moment?
First, I would like to ask, what is Warren's drink of choice?
Warren's drink of choice is the Moscow Mule, but
Moscow
of course,
Mule.
Which is a mossy bovine horn that is filled with a mix of sweet rum-like substances with lime.
Interesting.
Mossy cows are hard to come by.
Mossy cows. Oh. Interesting.
And I assume you're familiar, but if not, I'd like to make you one the way that these drinks were made in my eyrie, if I may. You may permit me to take a step behind the bar.
Have I been permitted behind the bar when I'm not technically working here? Is my first question.
I mean, if you do anything with enough confidence, no one's going to stop you.
Yeah. Be like, be my guest.
So I rummage. I rummage around and I try to find as many ingredients as I can. The mossy part is a little tricky, so I take like the ends off of mint and whatnot to cradle around the drink, and with a flourish and minor spillage, I offer it to you for your delectation.
I warn you, I'm a tough critic.
I want really very much to impress you.
I sip it.
I
Is
feel
there
like
anything
needs
to
be a
note?
roll.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel there should be some sort of like performance or medicine versus.
I would have. No, it's probably not brewer's supplies. It's
Hmm.
not quite that specialized.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got proficiency in it, I would definitely allow it. But I would allow a performance.
Okay.
I think.
This would be part of it, like trying to place at ease and sell the origins of the drink. So here we go. And that is a 13.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's pretty good. You know what? I think a little bit more citrus, perhaps. I mean, when you squeezed the lime, it did kind of go all over the bar. I'm gonna have to clean that up in a minute.
But so something improvable. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I mean, you're the expert, and it's good to know for the next time a drink needs to be served.
Yes, and maybe you can be the bartender this time.
What would you do at the wedding if you weren't tending the bar? What would be your?
Well, I mean, I do have the ability to also change my appearance.
Really?
Mm.
So are those your no, I can't ask if those are your natural ears. But
Excuse me? Ear enhancements? Well, I never.
And Fear and Brian arrive back on the deck.
come and save me from the.
How's it going, you two?
It was going swimmingly. Wherein made me a mediocre drink so we can take off bartending school from the list of backgrounds.
Okay.
That's a bit harsh.
And we're planning our different roles for the masquerade, and of course, Keith knows many things that don't involve standing behind the bar and keeping watch.
I do, as you all know from my incredibly elaborate and interesting backstory.
Yes. It was the dalliance that you took where you learned how to train dogs as well. It was very
Yes.
impressive.
It is, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
It's a dog.
That's a good point. They only exist in Faerun. Not in Faerun, in the Feywild. They don't exist here.
I think a dog is the opposite of a god. That makes sense,
Right. Yes.
Yes.
You look at a dog in a mirror or a god in a mirror,
Yeah.
your brain explodes.
And I trained them.
And it has occurred to me that we said this ought to be a masquerade. We do need to acquire masks.
That's a very good point. Where would we get masks from?
Is there a mask shop?
There should be some sort of
Okay, so
costumier.
give
Keith.
everybody, please give me a history roll.
History.
History.
I got a sweet and sultry 13.
A sweet and less sultry 12.
A definitely unsweet 5.
Josh,
I got a very sour 16.
but at the top of the crop. So, Brian, you have a thing, and you do remember because you've been around a few of the kind of shopping areas, like the lanes where Isabeth's music shop is, and the town square. And you did catch when you were on the lanes near to Isabeth's shop, there was a cobbler. So typically deals in shoes and leatherworking, but you reckon would probably sell or at least be able to whip up some masks if you needed.
If I remember rightly, there was saw like a cobbler. What are they called? Like a person that does the shoes and stuff.
You can't put shoes on your face.
But they work with leather stuff, so they might be able to fashion us a mask out of some of the leather that they would make shoes out of.
Oh, that is
Maybe?
actually quite a good idea.
aren't leather masks a little bit racy for a
I
wedding?
mean,
Well,
depends how you style it. They're very comfortable.
There's at least 50% of our party that is into that, apparently. From my understanding. I think so.
I feel like an ellipsis is needed to wander to the thing and circumvent this conversation. So you arrive at the Cobbler's. You can see that the name of this shop is A Touch of Soul. And if you were to peer through the window or even walk in, you can see that the shopkeep is a non-gender obvious. That's not a word. Gender fluid Vidalcan. Looks to be around their kind of early 50s. Wears a threadbare tweed suit and a loose squared-off tie. With what you would imagine is probably a small but very neatly combed, side-parted toupee on their head. And they're just kind of milling about the shop, hammering some nails into the sole of a boot. Oh, please do come in. It's lovely to see you. Are you new in town?
Some of us, yes.
Lovely. Well, my name's Hamley, Hamley Weskin Soul. Soul isn't spelt the way you would think. It's with an A in it. I'm going to give you it. HAMMLEY WHISKIN hyphen SOALE. The hyphen isn't important for the anagram. It's just double barreling.
Hyphen is important for double-barreled surnames, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Being somebody with a double-barreled surname.
Please, do you need shoes? And kind of looks down and notices that, Keith has rabbit feet and Emphia and Warren both have. I do actually have some shoes that are intended for people who have not got human or elven style feet. We've got some, and kind of does show you over where there are some foot coverings that they kind of look reminiscent of sandals that could be worn by someone with talons. And then there is a kind of a boot with a stiletto heel that shapes rather nicely to a Harangon foot.
I will point out that although Keith is not wearing boots, is wearing kind of like, gauntlets on their ankles that seem to be magically imbued in something, so some kind of fancy footwear.
Mm.
Does Breen wear shoes?
Brian is wearing like cloth wrapped shoes that are sort of wrapped up to about the part of the leg that I can't remember. The shin goes about halfway up his shin.
I was going to say, it doesn't strike me as a proper shoe wearer.
Flip-flops,
no.
I would have said.
Yeah.
Nice and comfy.
Emily will probably latch on to that. I can see that you're long due an appointment. Would you like to try on some shoes?
I'm good, thank you. Actually, we'd actually come here to see. Have you ever made masks before?
Masks,
Like shoes, but for your face.
Shoes for the face.
There might be quite a market for them with the nine tails, I mutter. Not to the shoe person to give away a secret.
I mean, I could certainly give it a go. It's certainly. I mean, we all got a face, so I could. That's some good bit of marketing there. Actually, I like that.
We do all have a face.
we do.
There is a masquerade wedding going on tonight. You might make a nice little penny from the various guests.
That's some good insider knowledge. I'll definitely have to get cracking then. So you would like to be my first customers for my apparent new mask making business?
I'll tell you what. What we are doing is we are looking to source out a merchant who is capable of making masks for the wedding. So we have an offer for you. we will take, if you could make us some sample masks for us to use, and then what we will do is we will take those masks, we'll wear them to the wedding, and while we'll go around the town and we will tell people that if they want a mask for the wedding tonight to come to your shop, we will promote your shop for you if we can have the mask for free.
I'm
It's
also going to
marketing.
pay for mine, so I'm just buying one.
Yes.
Oh.
Brian, could you give me a persuasion?
Brian just has that 1 gold.
Oh yeah, I have no cash.
course.
I have gold. I can buy you a mask. I mean, they are my tips, but
Can I guide myself?
You can always guide yourself.
Yeah.
One hand in your
Oh.
pocket.
you also
13.
have inspiration.
And I will use that. 13, 18.
18. Oh, I do like the idea of a bit of marketing, and if maybe you could just scrape together a couple of silver to cover the materials, but I don't mind you being my prototypes. You there, points at Brian. You sit down. I want to take some measurements of your face.
Yeah, that's fine. I tell you somebody who's going to be really important to get the proper right dimensions and measurements is going to be my friend Emphia, because a lot of the people who are coming to the wedding are actually Owlins, so that's going to be like your prime target audience right there. But I will be more than happy to sit and be your model for now.
I mean, I will point out that the Tabaxi outnumber the Owlin by almost 2 to 1, but
we don't have any Tabaxi with us.
They also already have their own masks.
All right.
9 at least. Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose. Do you mind, Mom, if I if you could sit down and I can get some.
I give one permission to touch my face.
It kind of roots around for something that will be the kind of best way to do this, and you kind of end up with a clean, obviously, inner soul just being used to kind of measure where and kind of has to flip the kind of the toe side of it and draws where your eyes are and works it out. And I think it'll take me a little bit of time, but I can probably get something to you within a half hour.
Oh yes, that'll do nicely.
Wonderful.
Brilliant. Well, if you want to mill around in the shop, you're more than welcome. Or if you want to check out some of my neighbours, you can. But yeah, I'll just pop back in here in 30 minutes, and I'll get you your 4 masks. Would you all like? I can take some proper measurements so that you've all got form-fitted ones. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, childhood affliction. Might be worthwhile just to make sure that, the beaks and the non-beaks are accounted for.
He will kind of grab a couple more insoles and kind of sits you each down in turn and takes the measurements that are required.
Yeah, I'll ask specifically to go behind a curtain for my measurement.
Interesting. Doesn't have a curtain, but will say, you can come. You can just come back a house with me.
Perfect.
You can peruse the shelves, and we'll kind of take your measurements.
Right. And once Warren's gone, I think we need to get to the bottom of. Well, I don't know where this accent's going. I think we need to get to the bottom of this, don't you?
Absolutely.
Right. Is it intrusive if we do this?
Ooh. Tickles. Sorry.
Are you thinking of knocking the hat off so we can see what he really looks like?
I'm thinking about sneaking in and having a look.
I mean, yes, go for it. Do tell.
Okay. Warren's not going to get mad if I do this, is he?
How good are you at sneaking?
Pretty good. Josh says, looking at his stats, pretty good.
If you were to put it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Double it for no reason.
I'd say probably, out of a 10, like 7.
All right, just
that's
about
pretty
as
good.
stealthy as I am then.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can be quiet when I want to be. Keith, don't give me that look.
yes, ma'am.
Did you give me a stealth roll?
I would like to cast Pass Without a Trace, and then I will wild shape into a rat. And then I'm gonna go have a look. I need to get a rat stats up.
I mean, there's been no better time in the campaign, 5 episodes in, for you to finally wild shape and use Paths Without a Trace to spy on your colleague. Sure. Well, give me the stealth roll with advantage with your plus whatever, with plus, was it 10 for Paths Without Trace?
Yeah, I'm going to use a giant rat stats, just because there isn't a rat stats. Do you say with advantage? I should do it with advantage.
Yes, because no one expects the.
Guidance. I can't
Nobody-
cast.
nobody-
I can't cast guidance on myself once I'm already.
Nobody expects a rodent inquisition.
That is.
Our chief weapon is being a rat.
So I rolled a 17. A rat has a +2 to dex, so that is 19 plus the 10, 29.
Druid maths. 29.
Wow.
Steve, I believe that your passive perception was 17.
Passive perception was 17. That's right.
17. So yeah, you think nothing of there being a rat just wandering around. Please, is the reason that Faerun wanted to go out the back because you do not wish for people to see what Faerun looks like without the hat?
There is a certain degree of wishing to commit to the bit, also a certain degree of wanting an honest assessment of the state of the natural beak from Henley. So while we're having this conversation while the measurements are happening, there's a zone of truth. I'm casting on my area, in my area, to you say, so everything looks, and that's why I'm asking him questions like, so everything looks fine. There's no reason to run away. Everything is properly balanced. the rat comes in. I'm hope, and you promise you won't tell anyone, will you? And if anybody catches these questions, maybe they might feel compelled to answer them as well.
Okay. Steve, what does Brian see that he might not have expected to see?
He would have seen a much less plumed Aarakocra, somebody with a degree of ungainly, with a more ungainly, crooked beak that's not parakeet or parrot-like as has been presented, but is more of a shy canary-ish hue and shape that looks like it has not healed well from a fight. And you would see that there's been a lot of work done to it, Faerun is fussing with it, and always talking about the reactions that others might have, and would this be a reason to? Is this something that he should keep hiding? He wants to make sure that the mask allows for a range of disguise options or change options. The rest, okay. So not quite as bright, a little more. A little more aged and weathered, not youthful, but more like everything is just a little bit thinner than you might have expected from the outgo. And that's it.
And Hamley is there, kind of answering your questions and almost acting that. I'm imagining now, like if when you go for a hairdresser, and you're kind of just. It's just having this kind of secondary therapist role of
exactly. It's an accidental confessor.
I'm sure that your friends would understand. You know, you don't have to keep up appearances. They'll accept you for who you are.
Well, I mean, it's a rare thing for them to hang around people for this long, and it's a rare thing. It's been a long time since I haven't been alone, since I've had to be alone. So, well, I'll take your thoughts. Your handiwork is excellent. I'll wear this with confidence. That tonight will unfold as it should.
I thank you, and I mean I appreciate, you know, you obviously partaking in the mask when you could quite have easily just used your hat to have made one on your face. But I appreciate you showing off my craftsmanship. That's very nice of you. And he's got. Sorry, they have finished up quite. If you've got more to say, you know, they'll obviously listen.
No, I smooth everything. Back out. And as I'm leaving, I suddenly stop to think, as if, you know, I've just had this idea. When you're making the other masks, can you put probably like a mark on all masks that aren't ours, so that they might be easily recognized upon close inspection? Not that they have to be sort of sequentially numbered, but as I want to be able to pick them out in the crowd in case people start changing or leaving them behind for any reason. It'd be good to know.
I see. So I could probably make some very slight adjustments to the pattern so that each mask is unique, and that's quite a good selling point as well, isn't it?
Exactly. Everybody would look. So if you had a pattern book or whatnot that I could, if this is something you make up in the moment or afterwards, maybe I'll pass by and take a look at them. It'd be good for me to have a look see.
Well, I'll definitely try to I'll try to get something to. Yes, God, I wasn't expecting this morning for 4 people to come in and give me such a brilliant opportunity. So I thank you. I'll get onto these straight away, and we'll give you time to adjust and get everything back in order. And that also, you know, serendipitously gives you the opportunity to get back to the group should you wish to, while Warren is fussicking.
Yep, I sneak back to the others, pop back into myself. I mean, I'm not 100% sure why Warren wears that. The look is the exact same underneath is what we see normally, other than the obviously fiddling with the beat to throw us off. But other than that, everything underneath is the same.
Is Brian?
What's the same?
Yeah, is Brian trying to protect Warren's secret now, or
yes?
I think that is going to be a deception roll then.
I think with what he heard being said, Brian feels a bit guilty and is now basically going to wait to see if Warren's going to do it. But so we'll roll deception. Oh, that's no longer concentrating. So 17.
17.
18 on an insight check.
17 on insight.
18.
18. Okay. I obviously will not press Brian to give any information that he is not comfortable with, but you can both tell that Brian is holding something back.
I can't. I rolled a 14. I rolled
14. Oh, 14.
Yeah.
You do not know. Keith, you tell. You can tell that there's more to this tale.
Adds Brian in cahoots to the board.
Cahootin'.
Fair. I'm a cahootin'.
Strange.
A Kahoot! Need a yay card. That was good.
So if I just stole it.
If the last thing you say was "I come out" is the same, if the last word that you say is the same, you whisper "I come in" at the end. I don't presume to have like eavesdropped or gotten through that. I'm sort of lost on thoughts. So I say, well, good news, everybody. Speaking of sameness, the masks won't all be the same. Hamley with their master crafts work, will make the masks all slightly unique. So if anyone goes astray, we'd still have a way to identify them.
I'm just going to add quickly that while you were in there, I cast Alter Self to just change my nose from pink to light brown.
Is this like an obvious in front of Emphia kind of thing as well?
Oh yeah, you're in it.
Okay, great.
Well, is that performance versus perception?
It's going to be
didn't do
perception.
anything
I'll
to
allow
me.
you to actively roll, or you can use your passive.
Okay.
I'm going to say an Arcana. Just,
Yeah. Okay.
because who doesn't like rolling an extra dice for hijinks?
Rolling an Arcana is a 5 + 3 is an 8.
Oh, yours was perception to.
Perception.
Keith gets the Arcana.
Well, then my.
Ooh, okay. Filthy 20. Why did I say it like that? Jesus Christ.
So
So in character. So, oh my god. So slightly exactly the same. 6 + 2 for 8. Any passive wouldn't have worked either. So I was like, oh, no, nothing.
Yeah, you're kind of. It's such a kind of subtle change that you're just like, oh, I hadn't noticed that Keith's nose was that color, but it must have always have been as such. So you have a little bit of time to hang around. It's up to you if you wanted to look around. Some of the other notable shops on this kind of street, there's a florist's and there's a potion shop, but or we can just time lapse to the wedding if you wished, or assume that the masks will come together. What would you like to do?
The only thing that I would have done would have been to go to see Isbeth and the other Nine Tails and told them to go to a Touch of Soul to get their masks and to get them fitted and stuff, because, like you say, Tabaxi outnumber Hoots. So that would have been the only thing I would have done.
Okay.
Would we want to double check what that mysterious presence was near Pommerjack's, or do we think it's a red herring?
Moi?
Sean, this entire episode has been delightful town elements that have not necessarily been related.
But we forge our own relations. Let's go.
Yes, yeah.
Sure, let's check it out.
Okay.
Let's check it out. We're wandering around. We've got while we're waiting for the masks to go, I guess.
Okay.
This is how we spend our time on the in-between, maybe.
Yeah, it's not far. Like the lanes and the town square, it's all very much in the same sort of vicinity. So you have to do a little bit of a triangulation, unless you're going to cost something again. I don't know.
I think I would. I think once we get closer to Pommerjack's, where I have the sense of it, because you said it was nearby, right? Just like a sort of on the edge of what I could see. So centering on Pommerjack, I'd use the divine sense, one more time.
So, standing in the town square, Pommerjack's kind of behind you, so that you can kind of get a sense of where you think this might be. You use the divine sense again. Again, you kind of get that Venn diagram of so you can sense this time slightly on the within the range. You get the idol of Umberlee as that kind of distinct evil aura, and then triangulating with kind of where you're stood now compared to where you were then. You get the sense of this additional evil kind of feeling coming from the fountain. And you can see that, as you may remember, the fountain does have the statue of a octopodal bottomed woman with the tentacles spraying the water into the fountain. And obviously this being yet another depiction of the goddess Umberlee.
I guess I'm surprised and not surprised, right? Shark effigy, Umberlee, touch of evil. the Umberly connection. Can I give it a closer investigation to see if there's anything that is our friend the water genasi back at the fountain? Do I have to excuse myself before messing about?
The water genasi, Abathen is stood in the fountain as well, and is shouting out the news. And you do hear that the additional headline of rescheduled. They seem to have added the word doomed to the title. Doomed wedding rescheduled for this afternoon.
Less of that, please.
They've got to sell papers.
Sensationalism. Oh my goodness. Are you getting good? Are people responding well to the news? Are people excited to learn more? How is the crying gone?
It does seem to be. I've been directing some people to some of the outlets to buy the paper, and I think it's I think it's going to be a good draw. Most of the town, I would have said, have heard it if they've been by this afternoon.
Anyone who wasn't there yesterday being interested today?
I don't know what the guest list was. I wasn't there.
Okay. I mean, that's true. I guess I was wondering if there's any unfamiliar faces in the town being excited to hear this news.
I'll allow an insight in that if you want it.
Okay.
Is everything okay, Warren? Why have we come to the fountain?
I feel something about the fountain. When we were close to this shark effigy, I felt something evil, but perhaps it's just Umberly, and of course this fountain has a resident feeling. It's a 21 was my insight.
21. Okay. Something about what they just said wasn't true.
Oh.
Who's got the sending stone? Which one of us has the sending stone?
Question.
Not me.
I think I do.
Yeah.
Do you want to get it out, Warren? Just in case.
There isn't a little sewage just in the fountain.
I mean, all yeah. So I take out the sending stone and give it a ping to see where our friend the priestess is.
It pings somewhere in the bay. So not near you.
Not near us. Well, it would make sense that the Sahujin wouldn't have gone far, but they haven't made another foray since the lighthouse.
You also know that the priestess didn't speak a word of common, and you could tell that there was no inkling, no understanding there.
No, that's true. That's true. We completely failed to communicate. I'd like to give the fountain a closer investigation to see if there's anything mechanical moving.
Roll me an investigation check with advantage given by Keith.
All right. 2 dice. And that is 18 plus 3. 21.
Okay. So with a 21, you get a distinct. How long does your divine sense last as well? By the way, is it
until the end of the next turn?
Okay, so it would be a kind of 6-second things. So you still remember though that feeling of slight unease being close to an evil aligned area entity, whatever it was that's pinged up on your sense, and there is a certain maligned beauty about this statue. Like, it is well carved. It is of course it's well carved. It's a stone statue, but it's very the artisan who's carved this has put a lot of effort into a lot of the detailing. If you imagine kind of Roman Greek-esque, like the kind of masters doing their work, particularly in that this is a kind of nude up from the top, like very a lot of love has gone into this statue. But you also notice that it's quite well weathered. So though well carved and you can tell that the details certainly were there is definitely an element of being exposed to the elements, which, given what you know about certain gods of the elements and their rivalries, may not sit particularly well with certain parties. Especially, it doesn't look like there's been a lot of money put into the upkeep of the statue.
Okay. So, weathered, kind of abandoned, kind of neglected, struck by the odd lightning.
You know what? I don't know enough about storms to be able to say whether. I imagine it must happen if storms can strike trees, which are also do not contain any metal. So yeah, I imagine the odd statue must succumb to the odd lightning bolt. Probably not in a spectacular, it's been blown apart and glued back together kind of way, but the rock was made of sterner stuff, but there's traces.
There's traces of it. Okay. How long? I will turn to the town crier. How long has the statue been here in this fountain?
The statue. I did notice that you were giving it quite a good look over. I think since the town's founding. I believe that that's Umberly. If I don't know if you know, but that's Umberly. I believe that Umberly was worshipped. One of the first goddesses worshipped in the Moonshades. It was between Umberly and Shantea.
How long has the temple to Talos been here?
Not as long, I think. I think the Talos worship's certainly not as historied as Umberly.
It's not sort of brand spanking new, though. It's not like it popped up in the last couple of years.
No. It's been a few decades, maybe even a century or two. I'm not a historian. Is this pertinent to the news?
It's a full moon. There was the false moon that disrupted yesterday, that disrupted the original wedding. Stormy times ahead. Just wondering if there might be other loves at stake.
Hang about. You had a false moon at the first wedding.
A false moon.
The full moon tonight, and you're holding the next wedding at dusk. It's tempting fate, isn't it?
It's romantic, though.
Auspicious.
It's romantic only, is it?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Who am I to judge?
Take it up with the bridal party. It's not our decision, we're just guests.
Well, hopefully this one goes ahead this time with your similar rings.
Thank you. Here's hoping. Anyway, you ought to say we're getting masks made from the local cobblers, and they're doing a marvelous job. So you ought to tell people if they're coming, then they could get masks from there.
Look, the tab at the Twin Anchors is only going to go so far. So if you want to pay for some advertising space, I'm more than happy to cry out about these masks.
I have a gold. Will that do?
Snatches it.
Yeah, a touch of soul, making masks for upcoming wedding, if you won't mind, please.
Great. I mean, that'll pay you for some space for a week.
On the bar tab note, actually, Keith, we probably should let your manager know to not have an open bar for this wedding if the entire town's coming.
Oh,
They can
yes.
pay for it.
Yeah, like one wedding is expensive enough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far the budget will go to fully doing an open bar for a second wedding.
Bridal party, though.
Oh,
And you lot. Official investigators.
I'll see what I can do.
Yes, you will.
Okay. Side question: how many gold is an electrum piece worth?
Electrum is 5 silver, so 2 electrum would be a gold, I think.
It's impossible to make change.
I know that like the equivalent is supposed to be like a gold is like £100. So I tried, but that's too big for my head. So I always go gold is £1, electrum is a 50p piece, silver would be a 10p piece, and copper is a penny, and then I can do the maths. But then I have to multiply it by lots because it's too cheap.
See, I'd assumed that electrum, because no one ever mentions it, was like a £50 note.
It's like if nobody ever used a £50. Well, I mean nobody ever does, but like if you upscale it and it's like a gold piece is like £100 note, which we don't have, but $100 I think is a thing, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, but then if nobody ever really broke out the $50 or the £50 note, then that's what it is, the equivalent of. And then you've got platinum, which is £1,000. Sorry, got into fantasy banking now. You want to go over to the mainland where they've got Fantander?
Oh.
I don't understand the reference. I'm just going to blooper.
It's one of our banks. We have a bank here that's called Santander.
I couldn't think of a global bank.
Oh.
And a pun.
HSBC. We shouldn't be doing advertising for all these banks.
Other banking institutes are available.
Yeah.
So post wide.
So we know the town crier is fibbing about something, about popular interest. This fountain is very old and not completely displaced, but ripe to be reclaimed. I thought it might have been lost at the sea and then brought here, but it looks like I think that's the right path of inquiry.
Before we head off and start getting ready for the wedding,
Yes.
does anyone want to play shot roulette a little bit? It's a different kind than you may be thinking.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
I have here 2 experimental elixirs. What they do, your guess is as good as mine.
I'm in.
Brian, Warren?
Not wearing nothing. You can take it. Not
Yeah,
much of
I
a-
think
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How long do they last? Should we wait? Can I take it now?
will
You
it kick in? Like
So effect times may vary depending on what it is. Yeah, I'd say wait until action is occurring or about to occur in the next 10 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
You tantalize us with these mysterious cocktails, Keith,
Yes.
honestly. But I
Always
do
got
appreciate
something up my
it.
sleeve.
You spoil us. Excellent.
Okay. So, having investigated the town square, found the source of this mysterious extra evil influence, you can claim your masks, check in on Isabeth, and make sure that everything is going ahead. The Tabaxi do kind of let you know that the preparations are underhead. They obviously already had the template for the wedding previously, so they were able to do a lot of things. The priest of Lathander was quite put out that it wasn't going to be a wedding close to dawn, as would be his preference, but is still going to officiate.
Thank goodness we get to hear it again.
I never said that. Pixie and Patsy have both been warned. You believe that they will probably also warn Tostin, but you don't know. It didn't feature high on their list of things to do. You did notice he didn't even feature on their board.
It was him all along.
Add to the board.
Not my Dentomancer. Never a suspect. You can make your way down to the shore where you can see that the chairs from the wedding have been set up so that they are facing down into the beach. There's shift marks around that make it look like they perhaps had initially thought, oh, let's all be facing up to the town, and then they just reconfigured and redecided, possibly if only because people would be just sitting down and then on the beach. You've got the couple will be stood with the priest facing out to the sea.
Just before the wedding starts, which of the tabaxis is planning on jumping in to be Ninetails if everything goes down?
Yeah, that is definitely something I have access to, have worked out. It is going to be so you would have time kind of before the wedding to catch up with the Ninetails and work out these kind of tactical things. So obviously Faerun was going to be the fake Ninetails attending the wedding, so that all of their identities could be secret. But it is going to be Ike, mainly because Ike will be able to is able to fight at close range as well, but somewhat prefers to use the I have forgotten a crossbow if they can.
Okay, so with finding that out from the tabaxi just before the wedding, I'll get Isbeth, Ike, and all of us together, and I will ritually cast water breathing. I want to do like a combination between water breathing and druidcraft. So water breathing is the spell that I'm casting on everybody, but instead of it being like I've cast it on you, you can now breathe underwater, I'm using druidcraft to form like little like wedding flower type things. So for Isbeth, it would be like a to go in her hair. Does she have hair? Fur? Anything? Dress or something? And then for the rest of us, it'll be like for Brian, Keith, and Faerun, it would be like the sort of flowers that the like groomsmen would wear, sort of thing. And then for Emphia, it'd be like a headband of flowers.
It can go in the massive hat.
It can go in the it'd be like something that you can attach to the hat, and it's that's how I'm using water breathing.
How many creatures are you able to affect with water breathing?
10 in total.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought my thinking is it would be best for me to just do Isbeth, and if I can get Patsy, the one who's getting married to Isbeth, in there as well, then I will do them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But my main thing is to get the people that I think are going to be involved with anything that is actually going to happen. If say they get the rings and end up getting dragged into the sea, then they can breathe underwater, is my thinking.
Okay. I think that what would therefore make the most sense, you've got you four, you've got Patsy, and you've got Isabeth, so that's your 6. Ike, who is going to be taking point as Ninetails, should the need arise. It would what's that? That's 7. Probably also makes sense to have Inigo, who is the tabaxi who had the slight burn marks on their face. So as they're going to be Isabeth's best cat. And then I think probably Edith and Ichabod.
Okay. I'll do that on.
Just because they're nosy and they've snuck into the huddle.
Yeah, they've all ended up with. So as I'm casting it, I'm sort of forming these flowers in my hands, and then I sort of let them go. And as the water breathing spell sort of mixes with the druid craft, the flowers attach themselves to everybody in the various different places, and everybody can now breathe underwater.
Oh, brilliant! That's beautiful. Thank you.
So they're not just for show. If for any reason we need to get into the sea, then or any body of water, we can breathe under it for up to 8 hours. So.
Oh.
That is useful. I am going to point out I actually can't swim, so I might be able to breathe, but it might sink.
Yes,
Well,
I've never tried. I'll be honest. So,
if it comes to it, I'll show you both how to do it. I'm pretty proficient at swimming. And
obviously the nice thing about it being druidcraft is that you can make similar flowers for those who are not going to be given the ability.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yes, well, that certainly does happen. Any other pre-wedding preparations?
no, just having the elixir on hand. As soon as anything in the wedding seems fishy.
I have rolled for them. I will tell you what they are when you take them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Better surprise.
Was that an intended pun there, Nat?
I only as soon as I said it did I realize what I was saying. I don't deserve a boo.
Well, an ooh then.
Other beverages are available.
Oh, and I memorized the mask patterns.
Yes, you do get a delivery of masks from Hamley. And the unexpected boon that you weren't quite expecting is that Isabeth dropped around and did purchase some. And it now means that each of the tabaxi has been given a very slightly different mask, and you know what the pattern is.
Nice.
So yeah, you can even tell, should a Ninetails turn up, which one it is likely to be. Whether you know what class I've given them is another question, but hey ho. The wedding begins much the same as the other one did those many episodes ago, or yesterday, depending on your timekeeping method. You notice as the two tabaxi walk down the middle of the aisle, Isabeth in the same green wedding dress, Ichabod as best cat, and the slightly more refined groomsperson suit, walking down the aisle. Tostin and Patsy. Tostin looking a little bit confused, slightly ruffled, but moving towards. Just a quick question: has Emphia stolen Tostin's seat again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
that's where she sits.
You do notice that there is there was a placeholder saying Tostin, and then a couple of seats down, there's a just in case Tostin marker.
But not one for me. They know I'm going to be here this time.
They know you're going to steal his seat.
They could have just given me that seat and it would have been fine.
They know.
I need to know the backstory between Emphia and Tostin. I need to know it.
What is there to say? He's a very disappointing nephew.
I'm going to take a moment to be sad for my NPC.
I love weddings. I just can't. Just
brings out the best in families.
Yeah. So the best humanoids. The best people go to the sides. Tostin steps another couple of chairs down to take his backup seat, and the Turkey Aarakocra, priest of Lathander, resumes in much the same way. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today again to witness the bidding of Isabel Cuthgate and Patsy Hall. I'm going to ask you all to make me a general perception roll as you're kind of looking out, seeing if you can spy anything that could be potentially amiss.
Could I fly up just before?
Oh, is that a natural 20? Oh, you're muted.
Such excitement.
So excited! Oh, I'm natural 20! Oh, no. With the classic roll together.
And it's
Yay.
the
Nice. I just before the wind starts, once everybody's facing and the ceremony is just about to begin, I'm going to fly up as high as I can, but still see everything. I want to get as much of a view as I can.
Okay. I mean, all four of you are rolling, so I'm not going to grant advantage because we've already got a natural 20 for one thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I rolled a natural 1, but I'm burning my inspiration plus a flash of genius to boost that up to a 12.
All right. Normally, I would say a 1 is a 1 is a 1, but seeing as you used your inspiration, I will allow the fluffing of this roll. So 12, yeah, decent.
How do you feel about me using my passive instead, Sean?
I feel indifferent.
I mean, it's the difference between an 11 and a 22, so.
So yeah, half and half. Yeah, all right. So I'll say to 22. A natural 20 is a natural 20. I think that needs to be rewarded, so that's all good. And a 12 from Keith. So keeping an eye out, but also probably slightly distracted because you are yet again behind the bar.
In armor this time. I have a padded apron.
Nice.
That is true. That is the one thing from the previous wedding that has not been carried over as a template. They realised that potentially there could be a fight again. So yeah, this is not a peacekeeping wedding. I can't think of the term. Unarmed.
All part of the masquerade.
Yeah, there will be a more, but not and armor. There will, yeah,
And a more.
and a more.
We're in our more.
More and more.
I used guidance on myself because I can, and I rolled an 8 for a 19 because I got a +8 normally, and then I rolled a 1 on the d4. No, so that would be 16. That'd be 17. Sorry,
17. Okay, so we have 17. We have 12. We have 22 passive. I think that probably indicates that Emphia is trying to do her best spying out, but when actively is just looking at the wrong things, and then it's the corners of your eyes that are getting the important things, just accidentally noticing things.
Do owls do that? Can owls look in 2 separate directions at one time, or is that just pigeons?
I think it's the reason that they can turn their whole heads is because they can't.
Ah,
Feels like a chameleon thing.
Mm.
It is, that's just the balance of the universe, or the karma chameleon, as I like to say. With a 12, I think fair to say you are keeping an eye out. You're noticing more than most people, but besides the kind of ripples of the wave kind of coming in and making you a little bit jumpy, you're not spotting too much amiss. With a 17, Brian, from your viewpoint up above, you're kind of keeping an eye down at everyone, like just particularly the waters. I imagine you've got a nice viewpoint, kind of looking through. Being modelled after the UK, the Moonshays have traditionally murky brown water. So, we're not talking the crystal clear tropical beaches of the Caribbean. No, we are talking murky brown, probably shouldn't be swimming in it, waters of, the English Channel.
Especially at the minute.
Du Francais, if you happen to live on the other side. I don't know, do they call it more Pigeon French for you? So yeah, you're keeping an eye, trying to kind of peer through the murkier depths of this of the waters, and you see a couple of things swimming around, but you're not quite sure. Like, is it just fish? Is it a fish person? You're trying to kind of discern as you're looking around. With a 22, Emphia, you are looking at, you're trying to take in the wedding because you don't know whether they're actually going to get to the completion of this one, and you don't want to miss it if it actually happens.
She is anxiously holding that the elixir though, being like, I am so ready to drink this.
Everyone, like Tostin's looking at you and like rolling his eyes as well, because as far as anyone else can see, you're literally just waiting to the right moment to pop the cork on your champagne and just down it. And I mean, so nothing's really looking out of the miss as it is.
I love that implies though that they've not told Tostin the plan, just that we're having the wedding again.
I mean, that's why he looks long in the tooth. So you're kind of peering around, trying to keep an eye on the wedding party and the actual goings on. And out of the corner of your eye, you are kind of seeing, your eyes keep flitting to the water to try and spot something, but it's only out of the corner of your eye in your peripherals that you notice the waves are a little bit higher than you would expect for this time of day. And some of the waves are not rolling back as much as they should. And then encased in some of the waves, you see some frilled, maybe potentially scaly heads and eyes peering at you. And it's not until Lengfair, again carrying the fake rings, starts to walk down the aisle, that the waves move and the Sahurjan heads with them. But you notice that the waves stand up out of the water, taking a humanoid form, as you realize that these Sahurjan are swimming within the bodies of two water elementals. Warren, you might be wondering why I've given such juicy details to Emphia when you rolled the natural 20. And it is Warren in disguise as Ninetails, potentially in this slightly better vantage point, that you just think everybody's a little bit too focused on the beach right now. And you peer to the top of the town, where you notice that there are a number of figures gathering near the gatehouse. But that is a tale for next episode.
What are they going to do to Drew?
These are the questions that we ask
I've
ourselves.
drunk the potion. I've drunk the potion. Before we roll initiative, I've drunk the potion.
I'm casting things before we get into initiative.
We'll get to that next episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the intriguing, mostly lore-based, but I mean, hopefully, I enjoyed every moment of it. There were points where I forgot that I was not just watching and actually having to do things. I hope that you were as engaged as I was. If you enjoyed tonight, we play D&D every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time. And you can also join us on Friday, again from 6 p.m. UK time, where you can enjoy some other TTRPGs, such as Blades of the Dark, which is coming to an end, has ended.
What?
I think it has ended at this point.
So, am I allowed to say what's next?
Yes, you can. I think we'll be halfway through it by the time this one airs.
All right.
Good. Okay. So you can join us on Fridays, where we are playing the thing that I completely know the name of,
Humility and hope.
Humility and Hope, Lola's spacefaring based adventures, where crew of, I was going to say ne'er-do-wells, and I thought, no, it's not D&D, and I was like, no, that's quite accurate.
A crew of
we-
sensible people and Tom.
Yeah, that is.
That's most games. Yeah.
But yeah, where we investigate new planets and explore
Really,
this awesome kind of TTRPG that Lola has developed from so very cool. Come and join us. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. You just have to search, you guessed it, Roll Together RPG. Thank you to our D20 club. We couldn't make any of this amazing content without you, so thank you so much. We really value you, and if you want to join them, please do for the price of a bare minimum of one of your currency or more. If you feel so generous, you can help us to deliver this content. A big thank you again, obviously, to our sponsors and our supporters. And don't forget, we are all over socials as Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time for the thrilling conclusion. Ta-da.